Jason Cooper's week off in Canada was James Neve's week to take advantage, and he did exactly that. With a championship lead race in pro and a building amateur battle, fireworks are on the menu in upstate New York at the Watkins Glen International. Hello and welcome to Pit Stop TV, the virtual Watkins Glen International. I'm Andrew Cardinal IV with JP Costa alongside. And JP, here we go. Potentially the easiest track on the schedule to lap, but potentially the most difficult track on the schedule to win at. It's going to be tough out here with the draft battles.
Oh, absolutely. We got kind of a taste of the draft battles in Road America. We saw how close the field is on a much shorter track, Andrew. The challenges that, Watkins Glen naturally has, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We already seen live pictures and you can see, the pack is already there, Andrew. We haven't even started proper racing yet, but the drivers know that the draft is going to be majorly important, not only qualifying, but also in the 4 races we have.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun today here at Watkins Glen, and I think both days this week going to be a lot of fun at Watkins Glen. I'm really looking forward to these Miatas, and when putting this schedule together, we actually talked with the series a little bit and decided, should we go for the boot, should we go for just this shorter cup layout, and we went for just the shorter cup layout, 2.45 miles, as it looks like iRacing decided to. Well, anyways, you saw a preview there of the spinning wheel, but anyways, we've got, I think, a really cool show in store for this particular round on both the MX-5 and the TC schedule. You can see the shorter layout here. It does not have that boot, JP. You go through the S's, you go through the bus stop, the carousel, and then you just wrap right back around to turns 10 and 11. It's much shorter.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the layout that NASCAR uses, or used to use at least. At least that's
still uses,
how much
still
I know.
Uses, yep.
Still uses. So there you go. So it produces great racing in a NASCAR, and Andrew, I think it's going to be more of the same. We have 4 short races, and I mean, it's going to be fantastic. Turn 1, obviously, it's a major overtaking opportunity. It's easy to make a mistake. You can extend so much on the exit, but if you extend too much, you're going to end up losing time because turns 2, 3, and 4, well, it's flat out. So you're going to be flat out from turns 1 all the way down to the bus stop, and there we might see a little bit more action down into the braking zone.
And you can see there's fewer fast laps to put on the track map this week because it is primarily used for NASCAR. And of course, let's hope that doesn't keep. In fact, let's just go ahead and make that not be a problem. This is some live TV stuff happening, but let's just make sure that's not a problem anymore. That's going to keep doing that. But point being, it's primarily used for NASCAR. It doesn't really get used for a whole lot else, so it's always fun to bring different cars here, especially these road cars, and see how they're going to do on the shorter course. We're getting a good look at things today. Let's go ahead and talk about the standings that we were briefly mentioning and how there is no more championship lead for Jason Cooper, but it is also Jason Cooper. With 4 rounds left, I'm sure he's going to win at least 4 of the races in the next 4 rounds. 16 races to go. At least a few wins on the way for Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. Today's going to be a bit of a test. Obviously last week, the championship closed down quite a lot, didn't it, Andrew? But you're going to see if Cooper, comes back strong or if he needs a little time to adjust. I doubt he will need, but we never know. And, with the nature of the track, Andrew, I feel like we could see a few surprises up in the top. Would definitely welcome those. Obviously, you can see the lead in the pro battle is only 11 points. The lead in the pro-am battle, it's 91 points. But you can see down, Andrew, on the amateur one, only 8 points separating them. That's the one we need to keep our eye out for.
Yep, 14th and 15th there for Craig Schill and Alistair Hatcher. And you can see how, well, they are, if they were Pro-Am drivers, Craig Schill and Alistair Hatcher, they would be 3rd and 4th in the standings. And sure, they'd be quite a ways back of our leaders in Pro-Am, Sam Smith and Thortillo, but it's pretty remarkable to consider the fact that Craig Schill and Alistair Hatcher would be ahead of all but 2 Pro-Am drivers in the standings. Look at Sam Smith in the 5th place. It's just been a wild season. And just because somebody's classified as a class ahead, be it in Pro or Pro-Am, does not mean they're going to stack up there in the season standings with how these races have gone. It's been a wild season so far in spring 2022, and here you go. The schedule. You've seen the layouts on this schedule graphic the entire season, but it's always cool to actually show up and see Watkins Glen Cup, for example, here today. And we'll have Road Atlanta next week, then Daytona, then Sebring. So back to some bigger tracks the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Watkins Glen is absolutely loved by each driver. I think, everybody loves racing here. It's an easy track, but it's so much fun. It's kind of a roller coaster. The smaller layout as well is really fun. And then obviously, the next few weeks we come to a few fan favorites as well, Andrew. But with the, repaved, I guess you could say, the repavement that iRacing did, it looks fantastic. It kind of looks brand new, which it kind of is as well. But it's just so
It's
much
not
fun.
kind of. This has been repaved. This was repaved in about 2016. It's entirely new pavement, entirely new curbing, long overdue, certainly. It's not just iRacing kind of, quote, repaving it. This is a brand new surface, so these guys, I'm sure they have a race or two on this Watkins Glen surface in some capacity, but not many. And we haven't had many broadcasts here at the new Watkins Glen, if any. I think maybe one or two, if that. So this is still a very, very new situation in a lot of regards, as qualifying is on its way here for BSR at Watkins Glen. We've got 5 minutes to go, and Jason Cooper, what do you know, on top of the board, a little over a half-tenth ahead of Adam Delmont. Michael Seal sits in the third spot, then Lars Fischer and James Neve. Casper DeCourt's high up on the list, but not as high as we might usually see him. And Sam Smith, the first non-pro driver, he's in 10th.
Yeah, interesting to see that the 5-side motorsport drivers are not dominating like we have used. We're kind of used to, Andrew, but you know, it's nice to see a bit more competition. That should make Cooper's life a bit more difficult if Delmont and Seal can, well, sneak between him and Fischer. And you can see here the number 527, Sam Smith, currently leading the Pro-Am Championship, also leading the Pro-Am classification so far. He's doing a great job this season, hasn't he, Andrew? I mean, on top of his game, really, really good.
And I'd say Duncan Cope has been the same driver, but in amateur. I think Duncan, well, maybe not the same driver. I think Duncan has had really good rounds and has been taken out in a few rounds. And I believe, I'd have to pull up the standings actually, but I believe he's sitting pretty close to the top 20 to where he would start to be included on our standings sheet before each broadcast. I'll have to double check that real quick. But Duncan, obviously, Craig Schill, Alistair Hatcher, they've run the class. But Duncan Cope, I think, when those two get promoted, will absolutely take over this this amateur class on Tuesdays.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's 22nd.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, just really close to the, you know, to coming up on our board, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Andrew, I mean, Watkins Glen, with everybody running this close, it could be a tricky track. You know, it could be an unlucky track for some. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully everyone has kind of a chill day, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what the track is gonna have in store for these drivers. You can see Duncan Cope now is gonna finish yet another lap. We're gonna have to wait and see if he improves. Currently at 124.035, and look at that consistency. Doesn't improve, but I mean, on the same 10th.
Solid laps here from Duncan Cope during qualifying. Only a few more amateur drivers on the track today, at least in qualifying. Adam Fox is one of them. He is currently in 21st. Duncan is in 19th. And Alistair Hatcher is qualifying. He is in the 23rd spot. There's a few quali bands out there for guys like Craig Schill, Fiona Siddons, and Mark Oliver. Oh boy, we've got... Oh, Sam Smith has gone up to third on the board.
Wow. That is a lap right there for him. Wow, really good job. Within the same 10th as Cooper and Delmont, Andrew. I mean, I'm speechless. That's a fantastic lap, and I don't think that's going to be beaten by any other Pro-Am driver tonight, I don't think.
That's exactly the kind of thing you can do here at Watkins Glen. You can get a good draft, you can get a good lap down with the help of your teammates or others around you, even if they aren't teammates. Sometimes you don't have those teammates to rely on. You just can't quite get that run in order, and you have to rely on somebody else. But it seems like Team Excite doing a really good job in qualifying, matching the pace so far of the 5-star motorsport drivers. So another close, I guess, area in qualifying right now is Lars Fischer to Michael Seal. It's only 9 1/1000ths of a second, and from Seal up to Smith is only 15 1/1000ths of a second. The top of the board very close.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from first to, what, 7th? We're only separated by less than 2.5 tenths. And obviously from first to 6th, less than 2 tenths. So extremely close between these guys. I mean, there's pretty much nothing between them on race pace. It should be very interesting because the draft can really offset that 2 tenths, I think. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And you can see here, Tom Griffiths just less than a tenth of a second behind Nick Clibbins. We're going to have to wait and see if he improves. Currently sitting on 123.5. And looks like he's going to be going to his final lap of the day, Andrew. On qualifying.
Yeah, they're turning 122s, so he will get this lap and not much else. We'll see maybe who's the last one across the line here in a few moments to begin a lap. They'll get time extended because it is a timed session as opposed to a lap session. As here we go, James Neve and Andy McEwen are working together out of the carousel. You see Gelliford and Seal back there, Clark. I see Thortullo, I see Duncan Cope. A long line of cars here between turns 9 of the carousel and turn 10. But Yeah, we can kind of see exactly who's the last driver across the line here in a few moments. I'd imagine this line might be it.
Yeah, I feel like these guys
Maybe
are
a
going
few
to be the last.
stragglers. Yeah, we'll see Adam Fox probably get to the line, and that's about it.
Yeah, he's going to be the last one. You can see less than 20 seconds right now, and he's just running off turn number 10. So yeah, final lap for these guys. It's going to be interesting, Andrew. All or nothing. Do you think anyone's going to improve? Who do you expect to jump up?
Oh, we'll see if this line of cars gets there. This is Nick Clibbins and company. They will not. They absolutely will not make it back to the line. So they'll be able to finish up this lap, and that's about it. Nobody else across the line, so wow. And Clibbins, of course, throws the car into a slide, as we saw briefly there. Goes for a spin, and these guys can only finish laps now. Jason Cooper, his run is done. Adam Delmont, does he go faster across the line that time? No, he does not improve. Sam Smith ends his qualifying run. Michael Steele will have another chance. Lars Fischer across the line, no improvement.
No improvement. Now we're going to see James Neve. Looks like he just exited the bus stop.
Looks like he shot Andy McEwen way ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it could be good, Andrew, but I'm not quite sure if he's going to get enough of a tow. He will definitely get the tow. McEwen, he wants to improve it. Definitely, Andrew. He's outside the top 10. Yeah, he's in 11th place, so he definitely wants to improve this lap time. Can only punch in the air, which is really difficult, especially the top 10, most likely all being...
Oh, that's an off track.
Yeah, that's an off track, and he heads straight into the pits.
Neve will follow. Jamie Gulliford, let's see who he does. Michael Seal. Oh, well, these guys are both going to try and run this lap out. Seal comes back over in front of Gulliford, and Gulliford will go. At first, no faster. Does it adjust? Yeah, that time is no improvement.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, Glen Humberstone looks like he's already slowed down.
Fox was close.
Barely.
Yeah, he was close across the line.
17. Yeah, 17,000. That's consistency. At least that's a good point right there.
Nobody goes any faster right at the end of qualifying, so our provisional starting grid should stand. A few drivers serving quality bands. We talked about those. Chris Knox, Adam McNally included in that bunch, so they will start towards the rear of the field. It'll be fun to watch those two come back through in race number 1. And we briefly saw a bit of the spinny wheel, and unfortunately it seems like it's not cooperating with us, so we're gonna have to do this in a bit of a different way, but we'll bring this up at least and go back to full screen here. You can see we've adjusted some of the values here, JP. We've made it a little bit harder to get into the invert. Granted, we've still got a 21 and a 25 alongside our two fulls, but then the other numbers are a bit smaller. It's gonna be a little more difficult.
Yeah, and this, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I like the lower values because I guess it will make it a bit more interesting. Obviously, I mean, if you do get a 21 and 25, Andrew, that it's pretty much full. We had 29 drivers, right? So, I mean, it's going to be close. But yeah, I like the lower values. I like what we did around here. And it should make it interesting if we do get that 7 or that 10.
So as we get ready for racing here from Watkins Glen International, let's go ahead and get ready for our starting grid. 29 cars or so ready for today. Jason Cooper, no surprise, he's going to start on pole. Seems like he always does. Adam Delmont will start from the second place. Starting third, you'll find Sam Smith, your Pro-Am pole sitter. Michael Steele will start from fourth. Starting fifth, it's Lars Fischer. Casper DeCourt, his teammate, starts from sixth. They're controlling row number 3. Starting seventh, it's car number 7, James Neve alongside Nick Clibbins. And to complete your top 10, you've got Tom Griffiths and Lee Holmes.
11th place, we're going to have Andrew McEwen and James Clark on his outside in 12th place. Row number 7, on the inside, we're going to have Jamie Gulliford and Craig Cockrell in 14th. Row number 8, we're going to have on the inside Ashley Stimson and looks like Liam Silkstone, the 594 on the outside. Row number 9, Andrew, we're going to have on the inside 17th place Liam Stimson in the 520 and Thor Tulo in the 544. And finally, row number 10, we're going to have Duncan Cope, our amateur leader, and Julian Schroer in 20th place.
Starting 21st, you'll find Adam Fox in car 966, then Glen Humberstone rolls off in 22nd. Alistair Hatcher grids up 23rd today. Adam McNally, your first of your quali bands, will start from 24th. 25th, it's Chris Knox. 26th, Craig Schill. 27th, Douglas Stewart. 28th, Mark Oliver. And 29th, shotgun on the field, Fiona Siddons will start from exactly dead last as we get ready for racing here from Watkins Glen. Engines revving, red lights on, green lights on the way, and we're racing for race number 1, 15 minutes at Watkins Glen. Already some crashing. One car sideways at least. I think we're rolling for the most part. There's one car slow on the left. Not entirely sure who that is, but it's one of the Excite cars. That's Sam Smith. He drops down to 25th, 29th, 28th.
Wow.
Around there.
Yeah, and you can see the rest of the field making their way up the S's and now into the back straightaway. I expect to see a lot of positions shifting around here, Andrew. Drivers that are ahead will desperately try to defend the inside line heading into the bus stop. Do we see a change for the lead? Looks like that's not going to be the case. We almost went 3 wide and crashing.
We do have some crashes here through the bus stop. Looks like for the most part, we keep cars moving. Maybe a bit of incidents. Andy McEwen is slow. But it could have been a lot worse. One car out wide. Hey, all 29 cars are still rolling. I'll take it.
Absolutely, that's exactly what we want to see. And you can see, Andrew, the top 2, that's Delmon in second, if I'm pretty sure, and they have checked out. They're pretty much safe if they don't battle, if they work together. And you can see the second pack, though, that's where the action really is. You can see, well, already going side by side, you can see 2 5-star motorsport drivers, and you can see the rest of them. They're all still in contention for that final podium spot, and this is bound to be a fantastic day of racing. You can see the leader, Cooper from Delmon, still 1-2 between them, and already 2.5 seconds down to Fisher.
These two are likely going to race for our win here in the first race of the day. It's Cooper and Delmon out front, as you called. Fisher second with his teammate just behind. Michael Seal in the, I said Fisher second, Fisher third rather, with his teammate just behind. Then you see a side-by-side here, Tom Griffiths, Lee Holmes, and company. James Neve is in that.
And you can see they're just going to drag Grace through the back straightaway. Looks like the number 76 is going to have a bit of help from behind, and that should grant him the position. Now heading into the braking zone. Do we go side by side already? Barely quite. You can see there Neve and Holmes. Neve steals with the position, steals the position from Holmes, and he's going to slot in 8th place, Andrew. But, I mean, they're getting racy already. Only lap number 2, but I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Good stuff so far. The field keeping things mostly together. Really, we just got to sit and wait. I mean, this is going to be a waiting game of just wait 15 minutes, position yourself at the end of the race, throw back to Road America, really.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good practice for these guys. Obviously, right now, I feel like, Andrew, even though we have a much shorter track, I feel like the slipstream here is much more prevalent, I guess you can say, because we have so much of it and not really a midfield car where it's impossible to overtake or really difficult. So it's just going to be a question. Do you stay behind up until the last lap, or do you hold position, try to get that track position? I'm pretty sure you just have to hold it.
Still watching this midfield battle towards the front of the field. Lee Holmes in behind James Neve. Jamie Gulliford's a little further behind these guys. Michael Seal's up the road, battling now with Lars Fisher, it looks like. Casper DeCourt throws a block. Seal through the middle. 3 wide down the backstretch. They sorted out 2 wide now, as Seal's going to take point on the 3rd spot. Maybe not.
No, Seal is not waiting a single bit, Andrew. He lined up perfectly. Long right-hander. Can he hold it? Looks like he won't be able to on the outside. And
side by side to turn number 10. Fisher on the inside, Seal on the outside. Casper DeCourt's just behind with Tom Griffiths there as well. What was the inside is now the outside. They flip-flop around, and here we go. Down to turn 11, they sort things out. Good moves all around. Nice, clean racing.
I mean, very clean racing from these from the whole field so far, Andrew. Obviously, lap 1, we had a few incidents. You can see Michael Seal not wasting any time whatsoever. Fisher just kind of letting him go, you know, just get the position. I'm going to work with my teammate, but looks like he was a big compromise on exit. And Casper DeCourt, well, he has no option, Andrew, but to keep the pedal to the metal. But luckily, they work together, and you can see it's going to be a tandem. It's going to be the 2 5-star motorsport drivers, Lars Fisher and Casper DeCourt, against the Tom Griffiths and Michael Seal. Who's going to prevail? And you can see this is essentially Talladega, Andrew. They're bump drafting. Yeah. They're pushing each other.
Yeah, it's getting that way. This is a wild pack of cars. Let's go back a little bit. Here we go. 3 wide in front of Craig Cockrell. James Neves there on the right. 3 wide to the bus stop. Oh, that doesn't usually work, but it does this time. James Clark is in this mess. Wow.
Wow, indeed. This is absolutely crazy how hard they're racing already, Andrew. We're just past 5 minutes, but I mean, they're not afraid to go 3 wide, looks like.
Liam Simpson now on board in position 13. Now, quickly, I want to recap some of the issues we saw at the start of the race, mostly for guys like Andy McEwen, who is down here with a lot of damage in the 28th position. He's keeping the car on track, at least trying to salvage what he can in case we see some crashes along the way. Fiona Siddons is back here as well as Nick Clibbins. Mired 25th position here for Nick Clibbins. Really rough go of things so far. Craig Schill's back here in 22nd, Alistair Hatcher 21st. But for guys like this, you can see it's a massive pack of cars. We go to turn 1 here, you'll see them fan out through the corner. It is a massive pack of cars here as Alistair goes on the outside, and there we go. A crash in turn 1. One car is off. That's Craig Cockrell, it looks like. Yes, it is.
He was in the top 10, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Leading. Yeah, he was leading, and you can see that car is already destroyed. He's going to have to go back to the pit lane, and that's most likely his race number 1. So that's how quickly things can change, Andrew. You know, you're leading your class, and then, well, you're in the wall, and you can see here Chris Knox back in the Lego machine, I see. So quite nice to see a different livery this time, but he's trying to make his way through the field. He's currently in 15th place, so he already made up quite a few spots.
Oh, Thortolo sideways there through the bus stop. Knox goes to the inside, takes advantage of it. Really good racing down here in the midfield. Let's move back towards the front a little bit. You see a lot of blue and orange. A lot of those guys, 3 of those guys anyways, are, what is it, Time for Fun Racing, Time for Fun Motorsport. And then a pair of them in this group is the 5-star motorsport cars of Fisher and DeCourt. And then further back, you see a lot of the blue and orange colors from Team Excite. Seems like that's a popular color combo here.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a popular color combo. I don't know why, Andrews, but oh well.
These guys just like their, I don't know. It's odd. Here we go, side by side. Ooh, Griffiths, and oh, that was just about side by side contact.
Yeah, they were pretty much handing each other letters at that point. They were touching mirrors, and you can see further side by side action just behind. That's Duncan Cope, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going side by side. Looks like Julian Schroer, and he's gonna get that position. They're battling for 18th. But that's not over. You can see them, Andrew, just, again, packs of racing. You can see just bump drafting, pushing each other, trying to get their line to work. This, I mean, it looks and feels like NASCAR. Oh.
Only a few cars have taken big impacts today. Those being Cockrell and Humberstone. There's only 2 cars out anyways. A few of the cars have had impacts, but have kept racing. Chris Knox is battling with Adam McNally. Let's go on board. Well, not on board, but go back to this battle as Knox went way out wide in the carousel. A few cars taking advantage. I saw one car way out there. That might have been Craig Schiller. Was that Alistair Hatcher? I think that was Alistair. It was. Way out wide out of the carousel, pulling the NASCAR line.
They're really using all that tarmac on the outside, enjoying the asphalt and, well, getting that grip. But you can see that's going to lose him a little bit of time. And you can see this front group, Andrew, they're still battling. You can see Lars Fischer has his mirrors absolutely full from Michael Seal. And Michael is not going to, I mean, he's not going to hold back at all. He's going to, if he has a chance, he's going to overtake. And if only 6 minutes to go, Andrew, I feel like this is going to be the best position he can finish 3rd place. The top 2 have checked out. And I mean, this is a battle for the final podium position. So we're going to have to wait and see who's going to enjoy. But I'm pretty sure each and every single driver on this front group has a possible chance.
Here we go. Seal goes left. Here comes Griffiths through the middle. 3 wide. Up front, this is for 3rd spot as they work down to the bus stop. Oh boy, is it going to end well? Griffiths goes on through. It will. Griffiths takes a spot. Seal turns in just a little bit over Lars Fischer. But Lars lets him take the line to the bus stop, and they'll regroup, get back after Griffiths rather, as Delmont's still up there with Cooper. These two still in a nice little tandem battle as they drive away from the field even more. You can see the field behind them now.
Oh, you can see Fischer really going wide, using that NASCAR line you mentioned, Andrew. And luckily for him,
trouble.
Oh, no.
Adam Fox.
Looks like he was spun around. That's the exit of the carousel, isn't it?
Yeah, this is out to the boot.
Oh, so he's going to get it spun around. Be careful, there's a car coming. Oh, he almost went through the normal race course, looks like.
Yeah, that's way out to the boot. Let's see what happened to him here. Saw him briefly. He was battling with several drivers. I see Adam McNally back here. I see Liam Simpson, Chris Knox, and contact there from Chris Knox, and McNally takes a big piece of that as well. And thankfully for Adam Fox, he found the one piece of racetrack where there's quite a ways to spin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he did not hit, the tire barrier, the wall,
Uh-oh.
the armco as well.
Speaking of
But,
trouble with Chris Knox, check
oh
this
no.
one out.
So this
This
is coming
just
down.
happened.
So down into turn number 1, he's looking to the outside. Oh, does he? Oh, I thought he saved it. Does he hit the wall? No, what?
And there was more trouble. We've got trouble happening now, actually. Oh my god, look at this!
What?
Lee Holmes is on top of James Clark. Wow.
What? That's a view?
Have you ever?
Nope. That's a 5-star Uber ride right there.
I mean, he'll save on fuel mileage. I have no clue what's just gone on. Let's get back to live picture, though, and check out the end of this race, because we're coming down to the final few laps. Battles changing hands every which way. Jason Cooper and Adam Delmont still way out front. Then it's Michael Seal, Casper DeCourt, Lars Fisher, James Neve. A spectacular crash behind these guys. I can't believe it.
No, me neither. I mean, we were both speechless as soon as we saw that, but you can see now another separation. Now it's just Michael Seal against Casper DeCourt and Lars Fisher, and then we drop to James Neve back in 6th. He's defending the last spot of the pro drivers in the top 10. Andrew behind him, look, Liam Simpson, Ashley Simpson, Gulliford, and Silkstone, all the way down to 12. We only have Pro-Am drivers, so this is going to be interesting to take a look who's going to have the best advantage. And, well, looks like the battles for the top 10 are already happening.
Big move here from Sam Smith. Go alongside Liam Silkstone. Gulliford defending. They'll go down to the bus stop. A lot of Pro-Ams in this battle. Oh, Sam Smith took a shot there. Gulliford. There goes. Whoa, Adam McNally goes on by his teammate, but slides off the racetrack. And we'll give that spot right back up to Liam Silkstone. That was pretty sketchy there. Leading in Pro-Am, that's Liam Stimson in car 520. He's a little ways ahead of his nearest competition of Ashley Stimson, but it's not a big gap. In fact, Ashley's got a run now from James Neve. Going to pull some ground here potentially on Liam and go down to turn 10.
It looks like Neve's going to be looking to the outside. They're going to go side by side. Are they going to make a little bit of contact? No space whatsoever, but Neve's make it work. And that was really good. And you can see, I mean, the two teammates almost went in contact. That was going to be a Stimson contact. And that's going to open the door, Andrew, to Sam Smith. I mean, the comeback drive, it's on point. He's not going to be wasting any time on Ashley. Looks like he's just going to be going down the inside. He's going to steal that 8th place. He was as low as 24th. And now he's in 9th. And he still has 1 minute and 50 to make up positions. Wow.
One more spot to go for Sam Smith if he wants to get the Pro-Am win. Down in amateur, however, it's Duncan Cope, who is in this line that is leading the way. Next up is Alistair Hatcher in that battle. Mark Oliver, it seems now potentially with trouble way back in the field. We'll keep this battle on screen. This is Duncan Cope trying to go on by Liam Silkstone. Oh, and a problem for Michael Seal in the bus stop.
Oh no, and that's big right there. Oh, his race is over with 1 minute and 20 to go. Cutting back, and you can see, well, the two of them, they're going to be, well, on their own. Casper DeCourt and Lars Fisher, the teammates. But you can see behind Andrew, this is far from over.
This is the Pro-Am battle. Simpson, Smith, Stimson, and Gulliford as they go down to turn 10. Neve trying to defend over Liam Stimson. Stimson backs out, and there goes Sam Smith around the outside for the race lead. He's now going to challenge James Neve to move up ahead of the pro driver, and he's got his nose ahead, but he doesn't have the position just yet. White flag is out.
White flag, wasted no time. You can see there's Sam Smith to try and challenge James Neve, and he's already looking to that possible 5th place finish, Andrew. He's going to be looking down the inside. Is he going to be brave with the break? No! Contact between those two.
And sure, he's going to get the position for now, but that's likely going to be a penalty on Wednesday. That's most definitely, I think, going to at least be some kind of warning. Maybe an RI, but it's at least going to be addressed in the review. And you know what? Liam Stimson's still here. Our leader's doing battle on the final lap. Here we go. Cooper and Delmont finally going after it.
Cooper, you can see, tried to line up, Delmont, sorry, tried to line up Cooper, but couldn't on the bus stop. He has a few more opportunities, Andrew. We saw drivers making, well, moves on the outside of the second to last corner. He still has possibilities. Adam Delmont has, you can see the number 77, and he's going to be looking to the outside. Can he outbreak Cooper? He's going to go side by side into the braking zone, trying to carry more speed on the outside, but Cooper has him covered, and that should do it.
Not over yet. There's still turn 11. No contact, no bump and run, but can he get a run out of the corner? Down to the start-finish line, no dice for Adam Delmont. He will go P2, and Jason Cooper wins another one. Now Sam Smith over the Stimpsons. Side by side, Liam Stimpson, Silkzone in this as well. Side by side there between the two Liams. Oh, one's in the wall. Big contact, and Gulliford's going to do a flip.
Oh, no, the final corner of the race. And it looks like both of them are going to be DNFing. No.
Huge implications there in Pro-Am. Duncan Cope will still win in amateur. In fact, he goes top 10 with a 9th place effort there at the end. And chaos in the final lap.
Chaos indeed. You can see the final driver. It looks like that's going to be Adam Fox making his way through. And, I mean, what a final lap we just had, Andrew.
Well, that's one way to have some excitement. McEwen will be the final car to finish this race. He is into turn 11 now. Not often that we say that.
No, absolutely not. Unfortunately, I guess one of the worst possible circuits to have a lot of front end damage, and you can see him already a minute off in just 15 minutes. But boy, he's gonna have a few extra opportunities, Andrew. First things first, we need to decide how many. I mean, we don't. Luck needs to decide how many cars are going to be flipped, and the result for the first one. Well, our low numbers did not matter at all because it looks like it's going to be 15.
That's one of the lower numbers.
All right, average, I guess you can say, on the middle.
It's one of the lower numbers. 15 cars only goes back to Craig Schill, and that's leaving nearly half the field. In fact, that's cutting the field in half. If we have a nearly 30-car field, 29 cars in this case, 15 is half plus, well, I guess... Yeah, half plus 1/2 car, if that makes sense. Anyways, it's half the field. 15 cars out of 29 is half the field in this one. It's a lot, but that's a lot less than we've had as far as percentages go in recent weeks. Jason Cooper takes the win here. JP, this is your top 10.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, Cooper takes the win. That means he's going to start in 15th place for the second race. Delmont finishes just behind him. Couldn't really get the move done. And while Cooper, defending as a champion, Casper DeCourt is going to finish third ahead of his teammate Lars Fisher in fourth. Sam Smith, Andrew, he started on pole on the amateur class, dropped all the way down to pretty much dead last, and managed to win the class. I mean, what a drive from him. He's definitely going to be a name today. He finishes in 5th ahead of Liam Silkstone. Adam McNally is going to finish in 7th ahead of Thor Tulo, and Duncan Cope is going to win the amateur class in 9th place ahead of Julian Schroer.
So Cooper claims his 10th win, and finishing 11th, you'll find Alistair Hatcher, 2nd in amateur competition. Really good run for Alistair. To only finish 2nd is a little disappointing, but pretty good run there in the 11th spot. Then it's Nick Clibbins in 12th, Ashley Stimpson in 13th, James Clark 14th, Craig Schill 15th. In the back end of your top 20, you've got James Neve, Douglas Stewart, Fiona Simmons, Mark Oliver, and Adam Fox in 20th.
21st, we're going to have Andrew McEwen, and he's going to be the last driver to finish on the lead lap, as Liam Stimpson, Jamie Gulliford, Tom Griffiths, Michael Seal, and Chris Knox. All of them, Andrew, 1 lap down. Lee Holmes is going to finish in 27th, ahead of Craig Cockrell and Glenn Humberstone.
If we go back to your midfield results screen, this is the back end of the invert as well. James Neve just missing out. Craig Schill just making it, and that will take pole for race number 2. James Clark, Ashley Simpson, Nick Clibbins, Alistair Hatch will be your top 5 for the start of race number 2. That was a lot right there at the end. What do you say we go back and try and find what happened at least to Lee Holmes?
Absolutely. I mean, we're not short of replays today, I don't think.
Looks like we need to go a little further back. We will continue to go further back until we find this. Going back by whole minutes, and we still have not found it. Now I think we've gotten there, and we can go ahead and show you guys what happened. This is going to be big, it looks like.
Because he's down into turn 1. He's side by side of Casper. They almost make contact on the apex, but they both keep very clean, clean line. And you can see now he's going to be leading the number 5. They're going to go up the S's. A bit of a compromised line, compromised speed, heading out of the S onto the main straightaway.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Tom Griffiths. Tom Griffiths had a problem ahead, and this is the result.
No fault of his own whatsoever.
there was more chaos through turn 4 there on the exit of the S's. Let's go back and see what happened to Tom Griffiths then. Seems he was kind of the start of this. Oh, I think he's going to get a turn here from Michael Seal. Let's check this out.
So you can see from the bottom of the S's, we're looking for contact possibly up top. You can see Michael Steele. Oh, Michael just carries a bit more speed, catches him at the wrong angle, and Andrew, that's the worst possible place on the racetrack, I think, to find someone stop in front of you. And
that was Silkstone.
Wow, I mean, I think he hit the armhole barrier, but considering what the other possibility was, I feel like that was a well-executed, avoided move.
That was... wow. I do want to go back and see James Clark's onboard here. That's going to be a good one. So he's sitting here just behind Lee Holmes, and then you can see the Time for Fun drivers ahead, and even it looks like Casper DeCourt right ahead in the 5-star Motorsport number 5. And everything goes, well, awry up the S's. This is just insane.
So Clark doesn't use the VR headset, does he, Andrew? Because if he does, I mean, this could be the scare of a lifetime. You can see just trying to line up a move here. He's kind of following the tracks of the number 35 ahead.
Quick, right there. Wow.
Boom. Wow. That is a massive hit. And, I mean, they're pretty much having a talk at this point.
Oh, boy. That's a view. It's just... that... I just don't. I don't know how to sum that up. And look at Clark's car. I mean, that is pristine. He just had a car on top of him, and the car looks fantastic. He went on to finish 14th. He's starting second now in race number 2 via the invert. Unbelievable.
I mean, what is the saying? The net code takes away, and the net code giveth? Something like that? Yeah, the net code giveth, the net code taketh away, something like that. But that's a wild one to start off the day. Make sure to stick on with us throughout the day. We've got 3 races to go, all 15 minutes apiece. And that one was 11 laps. We should stay at the 11 lap mark through the course of the afternoon, and I think maybe even 12 laps on Thursday with the way these guys are racing. Really cool stuff there in race number 1, and we've got another 3 to go. Stick with us here at Pit Stop TV. More racing from Watkins Glen on the way.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture, upload it onto a canvas, and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Welcome back to the virtual Watkins Glen as we get ready for race number 2 now. In round number, what is this? 7, I think? Round 7. Yeah, we got 3 to go after this. The season has gone by so quickly, JP. Let's go ahead and take one more look at that schedule. I can't believe we're already getting down to the back end of the season. We've only got 4 rounds to go in BSRTC, 3.5 if you will, or 3 3/4 anyways, here for BSR Trophy Tuesdays. It's gone by quickly.
Oh, absolutely. I was looking actually pre-race broadcast, just looking at the schedule, and I realized, like, wow, I mean, we're going to be done this month. It's just crazy how quickly it flies by, and, I mean, I already won Season 3. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, it's just so much fun to watch these guys race on Tuesdays, on MX-5, on TCRs. It's just so much fun, and the bottom 3 races, Andrew, the last 3 races, I mean, they're going to be fantastic as well.
Yeah, we've got 3 really good rounds to go after Watkins Glen, but 3 really good races to go at Watkins Glen. Race 1, insane stuff. And just seeing these guys go 2 by 2, several rows deep, you don't even get that necessarily at Daytona, the way things work, especially out of turn 6 up onto the oval. You don't even get that kind of racing. So this is definitely something entirely different from what we'll have, I think, even the rest of the season, and certainly any other season in BSR. This is pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has been a blast, Andrew. I mean, first race, wasn't it a blast already? I mean, it normally the kind of action we expect from race number 3 and 4. Looks like the drivers are already on the field. And, well, race number 2, 15 inverts. Who do you put your money on?
Boy, that drone is moving there on the front stretch. Let's take a better look then at some of these guys up towards the front. James Clark will assume the pole, pretty much, as Craig Schill has to start from the pit lane. He doesn't have a choice. He's actually been given a penalty, so we'll see the top 15 starters anyways, at least as they should have been. Stimson there in 3rd, Clibbins in 4th, 5th you'll get Alistair Hatcher, then Julian Schroer, 7th, Duncan Cope, 8th, Doratillo, 9th, though, you'll get Adam McNally, your first pro that's not named Nick Clibbins, so I guess your second pro, and Liam Silkstone there in 10th.
11th goes the way of Sam Smith, Lars Fisher, and that's about it.
Just like that, ready to go for race number 2. Craig Schill not able to take his pole position, so James Clark, your top starter, and we're off and away. Nice and clean start to the S's for the first time. A few blocks, a few 3-4 wides back there, but we keep rolling.
Drivers are not afraid at all, Andrew, to take risks this early on. We can see the top 3 looks like 4, and we might even see 3 wide action for the lead already as we head into the back straightaway. Behind them, also a bunch of action, but looks like from the top few drivers, we all get it sorted out before the bus stop. But wow, I mean, already lap 1 entry, and my heart rate is definitely going up.
Oh, 1 car around. Adam Fox and Alistair Hatcher looks like in trouble in the bus stop. Up front, Nick Clibbins with the lead. As we work down the backstretch, Liam Silkstone's got problems. He's slow on the outside, letting some cars go on by. One of those, Andy McEwen, now into the 14th spot as he trails James Neve. McEwen just started from what, the 20-something position? He's already into the top 15? Wild stuff on this first lap.
Yeah, wild stuff. He's definitely trying to make up for all that bad luck he had on race number 1, trying to get a good enough start to maybe set him up for a good invert. But, I mean, Andrew, so early on, he can still win this race as far as we know. And we're just going to have to wait and see how well he does. You can see Clibbin still leading from Ashley Stimson in 2nd place. And, that's a crazy,
whoa, look at Duncan Cope.
And wow, really good.
I just saw that purple 912 down to the inside. He is in 6th position, JP, making a big move there on the front stretch as Clark gets passed up by, is that Schroer going on by? We've got all kinds of drivers coming back for this one, coming out of the woodworks, and Duncan Cope in a really good battle here with Sam Smith. What looks like is that's Lars Fisher, then Casper DeCourt. Jason Cooper's back here as well.
And you can see this being Cooper. It looks like Cooper's just outside the top 10. Yeah, he's in 12th place. So he's having a perfect view, and he's able to line up, Andrew, all these guys. And look who's ahead of him. Adam Delmont. So it's pretty much race number 1, but inverted. We're gonna have to see who manages traffic in the best way possible. But you can see around here 5-side motorsport drivers Casper the and Lars Fischer trying to make their way through Duncan Cope in 8th place. And it looks like Lars Fischer's not gonna waste any time going down the inside of turn number 10, and his teammate is gonna follow. So perfect move from both of them. And Duncan Cope in one corner is gonna be losing 2 positions. And, well, he's going to try to fight it on the final corner on the inside, but that's going to be no match to the number 5.
Rotolo in a side-by-side here with Julian Schroer. Ashley Simpson, your top Pro-Am, as here we go, 3 wide. They'll go down to turn number 1. McNally fires up the inside. Schroer takes the spot, though, or hangs on to it anyways, as McNally's not able to do anything with it just yet. Now he'll give it a shot out of turn number 1. Side-by-side here with Julian Schroer as they enter the S's.
You can see side-by-side uphill. This is going to make them lose a whole bunch of time, Andrew. And you can see everybody catching up. You can see Lars Fischer trying to snake his way through, trying just to, go from left to right to get those positions like some people do in traffic. And you can see 3 wide action on the back straightaway. McNally all the way down to the inside. You can see the position switching. He's all the way up to 4th place. Can this end? Well, we're going 3 lanes, looks like, side-by-side, and it does. Wow, McNally, Schroer, Thulo, Fischer, we kind of remain in the same positions, Andrew, but look at how close this is.
Chris Knox was all kinds of sideways over the curbing there at the bus stop. Let's go on board with him as he's in position 17, looking at the next 10 or so ahead of him. Side by side with Tom Griffiths, Liam Stimson just behind. No cars out of this race, but there is 1 car 1 minute behind. That is Jamie Gulliford. As Knox goes around the outside here of Griffiths, gets a spot. He'll now go down to the inside of turn number 11. Can he get another? Can he get another? There we go.
On the exit of the final corner, you can see how close these guys are, Andrew. So close. Just one mistake and you're going to lose all these positions. And you can see there, Delmont trying to make his way past Sam Smith on the inside. And it looks like Smith is going to hold it around the outside, extending the track a little bit, as pretty much everyone does, to try and regain that position, and he does. And you can see Oliver now sets the fastest lap of the race. And Andrew, what I like about this is, it's an open battle pretty much for the lead. The leaders have not checked out like they did in race number 1.
And you talk about that, here we go. James Clark, 3 wide with Nick Clibbins and Ashley Stimson. Clibbins had held the lead until about now, as Stimson will take the lead through the bus stop. Clark slides in just behind. Good couple of corners there. McNally now sets in behind Clibbins. So a couple of teammates here going to bring some work to Clark potentially now. Clibbins going to have to be able to, maybe deal with his teammate is, McNally's going to look to the left side. McNally's going to race Clibbins here.
Yeah, Clibbins didn't get the best of run through the carousel, and he's just going to back off, Andrew. He thinks better of it, not too worth to battle this hard this early on. And Andrew,
Look at 5th and 6th.
one thing they're not... What? Sorry?
Look at 5th and 6th. Lars Fischer, Casper DeCourt, they're closing.
Yeah, they're going at it. And, well, that's the thing, Andrew. They're not doing what Delmont and Cooper did in race number 1. They're not working together. They're battling amongst each other. And all that gap that they had was around 2.5 seconds is down to 1.5. And, well, teammates behind them, they're going to be pulling everyone in. And you can see the effect right there. Casper DeCourt, fast lap of the race. And they're closing in fast.
These guys can afford to use a 1X on occasion out of turn 1 to go way wide and get a good run of these guys up to the S's. So Lars Fischer extending track limits a little bit there. Worth it. 3 wide for the race lead. Here we go again.
You can see around here, are we going to see bump drafting? 3 wide, almost 4 at one point, Andrew. And you can see who's going to come out on top. Looks like Clark has the lead right now. McNally is going to try to close in the door. No contact somehow. And McNally gets 2nd place. Stimson gets, McNally gets 1st. Stimson in 2nd. And you can see now Lars Fischer and Casper DeCourt definitely on this battle. And they're bringing everybody. Cooper, Delmont. Cooper got past Delmont, looks like, on this mid part, Andrew. So, well, Delmont couldn't do what Cooper did on race number 1.
Watching now from James Clark and Nick Clibbins as they head down to turn 10. A lot of these cars in the line, but there we go. Lars Fischer pokes to the inside of Clibbins. Clibbins gets back in front for that final corner, but I don't think that's going to last. McNally leads, then it's Stimson, Clark, Clibbins, Fischer, your top 5. Casper DeCourt, though, right there with car 96, and Lars will wait just a little bit longer. These races, they feel like they take a little bit longer here at Watkins Glen, JP.
Yeah, absolutely. The short lap, only 11 corners, really short and really fast. They definitely, I mean, it kind of just feels like a 30-minute race somehow. And you can see, is that Neve stopped on the exit of 1?
It is. James Neve turned around. Go back and see what his issue might have been. He was battling here with Julian Schroer and might just go around on his own, actually.
And we're going to have to take a look, and you can see, well, he's on his own. He was going to look to the inside of Schroer. And as they pass the start-finish line, now heading downhill into the braking zone, Neve, well, they pretty much are side by side. Oh, no, yeah, a bit of contact right there, and his car is going to be spun around. He tries to save it. Oh, and unfortunately, he overcorrects it twice, heading into the tire barrier.
I've got an issue for Nick Clibbins and one other driver, James Clark as well, headed down the order. We'll just watch this from the replay and see what builds up here. This is a big problem that we've had live. Clibbins on the outside of Clark. Do they potentially tangle into the corner?
Heading into the bus stop braking zone. Both of them looks like not side
right
by
there.
side.
Wow.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a big contact right there.
James Clark drops down the order. I can't even find James Clark actually now as he's 27th. And yeah, his car broke immediately.
Yeah, I think both suspensions actually collapsed from that incident. And Nick Clibbins' car, well, it seems like nothing happened.
He might have been okay. Bit of damage, though, that'll hold him back as he's dropped now down into the 18th spot. As we'll pick up our race leaders back to live. And you can see the 5-star cars, they've fallen back a little bit. Stimson and McNally might be able to stay ahead of them.
Yeah, they need to work together. They cannot afford to battle. And, I mean, as soon as they open a door of opportunity, and you can see the gap has already closed. So, if the 5-star motorsport drivers, I mean, they're going to work together, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, these two, they're pretty much going to have to form a roadblock if they do want to keep those drivers behind. As you can see, further battle happening. It looks like Lars Fischer went a bit wide. No, yeah, he did, but he's going to retain that position.
On board with Jason Cooper. Following Casper DeCourt and Lars Fischer through turn number 10. And at this point, Stimson really doesn't have a gap back to Lars anymore. Here we go. Onto the front stretch. 5 minutes to go at Watkins Glen. Our leaders, they're all in a row. All the way down through Sam Smith is just in a nicely packed single file line. That's 9 cars. And Silkstone in 10th. McEwen's in the top 10 now. Griffiths looks to the inside of car 4.
Griffith looks down the inside, gets the position. McEwen is going to try to do something on exit. Can he? Well, he's going to push the number 76. It looks like they're both going to clear Sam Smith, or at least hold the position. You can see up ahead, Lars Fischer gets past Ashley Stimson, and his teammate Casper DeCourt is just going to follow suit. He's going to give a bit of a bump draft to the number 96 to make sure they both clear. And look at Cooper. Cooper is going to make it 3 wide as he looks like he's going to be pushing a little bit of Stimson, Andrew, and that should make it a little bit interesting. Delmon trying to find a way past, and looks like none of them are going to be holding position. As you can see, Delmon now looking down the inside of Cooper as we head into, well, this corner right here. Can they go side by side, Andrew? Delmon cannot hold it around the carousel.
I think 5-star wants to keep it a trio so they can line up and go on the final lap or so. I mean, they've got the lead just ahead of them. Maybe with 2 laps to go, they form up and go for something. They'll have 3 to go this time by the start-finish line. Heading through turn 10. Julian Shore and Lee Holmes, they swap spots. This is for 13th. Your amateur leader is currently Adam Fox, racing back here with Jamie Gulliford, it looks like. No, Adam Fox, I think, is... Oh, the paint's changed. He's now from Time for Fun, it looks like. Huh.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. He's now in, well, still in car 966, but with Time for Fun Motorsport. As here we go, a battle again up front. Stimson, this time losing spots.
Yeah, you can see it this time left out for dry.
Oh,
and then, a bit of contact. Delmon and Cooper door banging a little bit. Now Stimson, well, he's going to have to defend from one of them. It looks like Delmon is going to have to give him a push unless he makes it 3 wide. A bit of a block there maybe, but looks like Delmon's going to be trying to help the 504 while Cooper is going to hold with his teammates. Who's going to come out on top? You can see Stimson side by side with Casper DeCourt. They're still going to go side by side. Cooper trying to defend from Delmon. And looks like, Andrew, they both make it through cleanly. All 4 of them actually make it through cleanly. And Ashley Stimson not letting Casper DeCourt pass whatsoever. Really trying to hold on for that third place, and you can see even going defensive right here, but now he's going to be on the attack from the number 1. Can Cooper maybe brave it around the outside of turn number 10? He's going to definitely try to do it. He has the momentum. He does it beautifully. He's going to extend quite a bit, saves the car. He's going to have the inside through the final corner. Maybe a bit of contact, and Stimson is still ahead.
It's a good run there out of the final corner as well. 2 laps to go, and Ashley Stimson is making things tough here on all the 5-star cars. And everybody else in the field does not want to lose these spots. And Ashley knows as there's 3 wide from Griffiths up the inside, moves Cooper out of the way. That's perfect. That's exactly what Ashley Stimson needed.
Absolutely. Now he's going to have a little bit of a breathing room, and you can see there Cooper tapping the brake pedal, and maybe a slowdown penalty. And that could only be the answer, but you can see how many
they see the chaos coming.
Yeah, could be as well. That could be a champion's move, could be a podium finishing move as Lars Fischer takes the lead over McNally, and you can see further behind this battle for 4th place, Delmon Smith. Everybody's still deciding. McEwen gets contact. No!
Cooper's involved, and he will come to a stop. I think Cooper might have been the cause of that, to be honest. I think Jason made a move into the bus stop that nobody should have ever made. Moved over in the braking zone. But anyways, here we go. Top 2, Lars Fischer and Adam McNally. McNally's going to push, it looks like. Yes, he will.
He's going to wait for the final lap. And that's going to be the move right here. You can see, he goes a little bit wide on the apex. He's going to be losing a bit of time, but that could help him not to be too close on the exit of 1. Now as we head into the final lap of the race, Lars Fischer, the number 96, leads the number 78 of Adam McNally. And Andrew, the number 78, you can see not using the slipstream. He wants a bit of a gap.
I'm surprised Lars Fischer got to him and passed him as quickly as he did. I really am. He got there and immediately went by car 78, and I think McNally might have intended on that, might have set him up to go on by and be able to battle on this final lap as they're doing now. Delmont's got Stimson in behind, Sam Smith there as well, so a battle for the Pro-Am victory. This is what Stimson didn't want. Stimson nearly had the gap that was needed to hold over Sam Smith just in case, but now Sam's got to run, and our top 2 are side by side. McNally pulling on the left side, trying to get Fischer clear into the bus stop, and he will.
He does, so a perfect slingshot move, gets clear of the number 96, and he's going to hold that lead on the exit of the bus stop. Stimson and Smith still go side by side. They're battling for the class victory, and as you can see, the white flag presented by Whiplash Sim Chems, and you can see Andrew Lars Fischer. He's trying to close the gap, but it might be too far away, almost half a second.
Going to be tough in the final 2 corners. I think the move has to start in turn 10. You've got to really roll up to Adam here by turn 11. Much better line there from Lars. Pops the curbing, though. Is he going to have anything for the final corner? Going to dive down. Does he go for a little bit of contact? Pulls the throttle. He's going to go way out wide. Maybe a drag race. He's trying. It's going to be very close to the start-finish line. Oh, that's McNally. Whoa. Wow.
What a run of Fischer. God, McNally, though, will hold it by just 18 thousandths of a second. Delmon's going to finish in 3rd place, and Ashley Stimson is going to win the Pro-Am class. What a finish, Andrew.
Fantastic one there between Adam McNally and Lars Fischer. That was good. Them on their cooldown lap. That was fantastic right there. The rest of these cars coming on through. Duncan Cope will go last of cars running in the 26th position. Looks like we lost 1 car between races 1 and 2. Let's see, Fiona Simmons will be next to cross the line over Douglas Stewart. There they go, and Duncan Cope should be along in almost 10 seconds' time. Now, I'm curious if anybody got any off tracks or anything, any kind of penalties here at the end of the race, so we'll wait on that. As Cope goes across the line, do the results change at all? I don't think so. So we're safe to go ahead and go to our invert, it looks like here, JP. Let's go ahead and do so.
How many cars did not finish race number 2, Andrew? I think everybody.
Only 2. Only James Clark and
still.
Jamie Gulliford took a DNF in that race.
So there you go. So this is going to be important. Ooh, full. Oh, wow. I like that.
The drivers won't. Well, Duncan Cope might, but, oh boy. A full invert. That's 26 cars. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, drivers. Please Direct your complaints to somebody else. There you go. If JP is willing to take the heat for it, yeah, there you go.
There you go. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty sure the number 78 won't beat Andrew because, well, he just won the race, didn't he? Just barely by the number 96, as you can see. McNally, he's definitely not going to be happy. I'm pretty sure he won't talk to me post-race. Lars Fischer just finished his second, 18 thousandths behind McNally. A really good race from him. Adam Delma ends up finishing third ahead of Ashley Stimson, who wins the Pro-Am class. Sam Smith is going to finish in fifth ahead of Tom Griffiths. Casper DeCourt in 7th place ahead of Chris Knox, Lee Holmes, and Thor Tulo.
Finishing 11th, and now starting somewhere down the order. We'll find out where in a few moments. Liam Silkstone, then Julian Schor 12th, and Jason Cooper goes 13th. Now in a 26-car invert, Cooper is still going to lose a spot. He's actually going to start 14th for race number 3. Clemens will swap spots with him as McEwen will benefit from the invert by all of, 2 or 3 positions. Will now start 12th, I think. After the invert, Adam Fox there in 16th spot, Craig Schill 17th, Greg Cockrell in the 18th spot, Liam Simpson goes 19th, and James Eve finishes 20th.
21st goes the way of Michael Seal. Alistair Hatcher is going to finish 22nd, Mark Oliver in 23rd, Fiona Siddons ahead of Douglas Stewart, and Duncan Cope, the last driver to finish on the lead lap, as James Clark and Jamie Gulliford, unfortunately both of them taking DNFs.
28 cars there in race number 2. And I do have a question, actually, for the drivers. I would love to know, as JP, you know how you said that McNally might want to not talk to you? He's in the waiting booth. Just get ready for that one. But drivers, if you're out there, by all means, check into our YouTube chat. Let us know what you think of maybe a none option for the invert. Just one option. Just one little sliver of an option there. What about none? Is that something you guys would be interested in? I'm sure Jason Cooper might like it. Or maybe like 2. An invert of 2. Just swap the front row. I think a few guys might want that after full invert here for race number 3. Let's go ahead and bring in our race 2 winner. It's Adam McNally.
So McNally, I just told everyone that you wouldn't want to talk to me because I said I like the full invert. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not quite a big fan of it right now.
I don't mind it, to be honest with you. I love it. Race 1, I had a quali ban, so started P24, got 7th. After dropping down the field twice through the race. It's alright on a draft track, to be honest with you, because you can use the draft to help yourself get past quite often. Whereas, like on a pissy track, the front pack tends to pull away more. So it's more of an equaliser, so I don't mind the full reverse grid.
There you go, and I mean, you just won race number 2. I mean, how much fun is Watkins Glen being, especially on this short layout?
Oh, unbelievable fun. I thought Lars was going to have us there at the end. If that finish line had been another 100 yards further down the road, I think he would have had us.
And now to race number 3. You mentioned you started race number 1 in 24th and you finished 7th. Now you're going to be starting in 26th, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, what are your expectations?
P1. Let's go for it.
All right, there you go. Oh, I like that. I like that. I'm not going to curse you. I'm just going to let that sink in.
I'll be dead turn 1, just watch. Dead turn 1.
Hopefully we're not going to be seeing a repeat of what we saw in race number 1, you being carried by someone. But, I mean, it's been so much fun watching you guys race around here. How do you line up the moves?
Oh, just if you've got to run, go for it here. That's as simple as that. You can't lift, because if you do, the car behind's coming past. So you've just got to go for it every time.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, we're definitely going to keep an eye out on you, Adam. Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, I mean, I'm not going to take the blame for it. But, well, best of luck for race number 3. And hopefully we can talk to you at the end of it.
All right, no worries. Thanks very much.
All right, Andrew. Well, I take those words back. Adam actually wanted to talk to me, and he sounds pretty happy about it.
I'm surprised. He does bring up a good point that if there's ever a track to have it at, or ever a scenario, it is a draft battle like this where you really can go from the back of the grid to the front, and, well, the opposite as well. So I get it. I think I do. And he does go from the front of the grid to the back here for the start of the race. Lars Fischer's going to go with him. Adam Delmont. There's going to be a lot of hungry drivers mixed throughout the entire field, especially with Cooper and Clemens and McEwen right in the middle. Neve and Seal being inverted to the front now. Yeah, there's going to be a lot here for race number 3. I can only imagine how this one's going to go. Stick along with us here at Pit Stop TV. We've still got 2 races to go here from Watkins Glen. A lot more action on the way.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it is you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Well, JP, if you had asked me after race 1, I would have said the inverts were already helping a little bit, and we're kind of keeping things to a slightly calmer day. And then, well, then the other invert happened. We're inverting the entire field for race 3, and on top of that, JP, would you like to see the sim?
I mean, absolutely. After you put it like that, oh, there you go. Well, that's gonna be fun.
It's dark. It's cloudy. The winds, they're calm. The temperatures, they're non-existent. 65 degrees anyways. It's as cold as you can make it. Yeah. Race 3 on the way.
I mean, I'm ready for it, Andrew. This circuit, I mean, it has provided such fantastic races. 2 races, I mean, they were all fantastic, the 2 that we had. But, I mean, it's just fantastic. I love fast circuits like this, especially the short ones, because, you know, it's just action-packed. It's just here, you know, just line up your move, go for it, defend, and then go again. And, I mean, only 11 corners. It's the recipe for great racing so far.
Now, if for some reason you haven't been enjoying this, well, first of all, get your blood pressure checked. Secondly, you probably don't like racing. Third, I want to invite you to at least take a look at our upcoming broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV. There is a slew of them. As per usual, throughout the rest of the week, here's how things look. Tomorrow evening, it's the Outlaw Sim Series from the sunny Rockingham Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. Thursday, we've got BSR TC action here from Watkins, Glen. And Thursday, look at that, JP. It's the racetrack for you and a lot of your friends.
I mean, it's the best racetrack in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I'm glad we can agree on this. Interlagos on Thursday's docket at 8:30 Eastern for the North American Racing League. That is the finale race as well for GT3 racing in this season of North American Racing League action. So, yeah, you'll want to be there. Interlagos, Brazil, for race number 8 of their season. Then later on this weekend, we do, of course, have MPI Cup Series action from Darlington Raceway. That comes up on Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That said, race 3, it's on the way. And, well, it's here now. The entire field being inverted. Duncan Cope on pole. The guy who just won, Adam McNally, he's starting 26th. This is his view.
But he didn't complain, Andrew, on the post-race interview, remember? He was actually pretty happy about it, so we're gonna have to wait and see how his feelings are at the end of the race. But I mean, he said that if there's one circuit on the calendar that you can definitely go from last place essentially to win it, it's this one.
We'll see exactly how it goes for him. Big thank you to our partners here at Pit Stop TV, Tucson Sound Art, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, Whiplash Media, and BAM Racing Videos. Look at that. Red lights on, green lights on the way here for race number 3. Waiting on the green flag from Barney atop the flag stand, and we're racing for race 3 at Watkins, Glen. Oh, crashing out of turn 1. Lots of crashing there. Only a few cars stopped, though. One of them, oh, there we go. Liam Simpson, Doratillo, another. Adam Fox, James Clark is involved. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Cars flipped over on top of each other up to the S's. Wow. To the bus stop we go. Duncan Cope, your leader. Douglas Stewart, second. A big gap back to Michael Seal. 3 seconds.
And you can see another big gap. Andrew, quite a few drivers already going side by side through the bus stop, but I mean, I'm still speechless. We haven't seen that many cars parked so far tonight, and you can see big gaps, distances between groups. What a first lap. I mean, what a half first lap we just had. You can see McNally. I mean, he definitely made up quite a few positions, Andrew.
P11.
there he goes. So from P26 to P11, 15 positions gain. He didn't even finish lap number 1 yet. Duncan Cope, though, well, he's going to lead lap number 1. And Andrew, he looks pretty safe so far, but it's only 1 lap in.
Out of turn 11, lap 1 will go official. Duncan Cope, your leader, then Douglas Stewart, then Michael Seal, James Neve, and Liam Silkstone. Wow. Let's go back and take a look at lap 1's issues. We've got to go back to turn 1 as well. We've got to go back to the start of this race, JP. And I'm not entirely sure all of who was involved in that mess, but I do believe that Adam Fox was one of them, so we'll just start there.
So you're just going to have to wait and see what happens to Adam Fox. We can see on the exit of turn number 1, you can see he's just on the inside.
Oh, something happened ahead of him.
Oh, ahead of it. So he just tries to avoid it. Oh, no.
That's how Fox was involved in it, but it looks like it started potentially with Thortullo and maybe even the 520 of Liam Stimson. And I do recall seeing Stimson involved in it, so let's go back one more time and check this out at the start of race number 3. Looking for car 520, Liam Stimson here down to turn 1. On the left side of Neve, oh, there it is. Alistair Hatcher checked up, came over into James Neve, and that's how it all... Okay, I see now. It makes a lot more sense.
And then further ahead, we're going to have even more issues. We saw, I mean, a bunch of cars. You can see them. And, oh, wow. Is that McEwen?
Wow, yes, it is. And one car tumbling there. It's one of the 5-star cars. I think that was Casper DeCourt.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, fortunate for him.
We're going to take at least 1 or 2 more replays of this. This is going to take a little bit. Up the S's here. Let's see what happens to Casper. I think it starts ahead.
Oh,
yeah. Fiona Siddons had trouble. Chris Knox. Several others. Wow.
And then at that point, it's pretty much you have nowhere to go if you're coming in full throttle with barely no view, which is just really unfortunate.
Let's find Fiona Siddons in all of this. Fiona Siddons, car 927, started, I think, 3rd. Down through turn 1, looks pretty good. Gets ahead of Douglas Stewart, so now 2nd. There's a blinking car. Oh, don't tell me Lee Holmes, or is that... That's Mark Oliver. Don't tell me there's netcode here. Oh, no. Fiona just turned in.
Yeah, Fiona just, I mean, pretty much disregarded the fact that he was on the inside. And, wow, he was just, I mean, he came to a stop. No fault of his own, obviously, but just at the worst place possible. Just on the apex. And then that all cascaded into pretty much the chaos we saw.
Let's take one more look. This will be centered this time on Andy McEwen. as he's going to come into all of this. This will be the final replay we take of this lap 1 incident, and then we'll get back up to live picture. It is still a 2-second gap between second and third. Jason Cooper now occupies that third spot, though, as this will be a good wide view as to everything that happens here. McEwen nowhere to go. Other cars piling in. Chris Knox. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Absolute massive hits throughout the field. Just really unfortunate to see that many strong contenders, Andrew, to be out already before even turn number 4, before even the bus stop.
Well, up front, Douglas Stewart does take the race lead. Duncan Cope second. It's going to be tough for Michael Seal and Jason Cooper to get there, but they're going to try. Racing now for third, fourth, fifth. Oh, contact! Seal into Holmes. Holmes is going to spin, and Seal pulls away.
Holmes is going to have to do a 3-point turn to go back on the racetrack. Couldn't get the car spun around quickly enough.
That's going to hurt Jason Cooper. There's a second gap between Cooper and Seal now. Douglas Stewart, Duncan Cope have never felt better.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have a bit of breathing room. But Andrew, the number 1 can really claw that gap back up. But not now, Michael Seal, he's going to have to hold off the number 77 if he wants to finish in 4th place. And we saw Delmont being one of the strongest guys today. So is it going to be a matter of time? Will Seal be able to hold off the number 77? We're going to have a bit of an answer, maybe down into turn number 1. And there we go. Seal already looking defensive. Delma's going to have to go the long way around the outside. He tries to outbrake. He tries to force Seal onto the apex, and he does exactly that. Now he's going to be punching the air, though. And, well, Seal and Neve, they need to work together. They cannot afford to go side by side on this part of the racetrack. They're just going to be slowing themselves down, and there we go. Seal slots back in, but, well, this is going to be the opportunity for Silkson to maybe get a few positions.
Big problem is Jason Cooper still ahead of these guys, and Cooper, surprisingly, I will say, is actually hanging with our leaders. Our leaders would like Cooper to stay as a single car. As soon as he gets drafted up, Azure goes side by side in front of Silkstone with Seal and Delmont. The leaders want Cooper to stay well ahead of these guys that are battling. This is everything they want. Now, somehow, Jason Cooper's still making up time. That one car is just insane.
I mean, that one car is on rails, Andrew. I mean, it's just really crazy to see him just run lap after lap.
Oh, contact.
He's just behind you.
Oh, contact again. They're maybe going to crash. Wow.
They get grouped together, and that may have saved them from just rubber banding
into
one another. And unfortunately, Michael Seal looks like he finds a little bit more contact, but he keeps pointing in the same direction, Andrew. Quite a lucky escape twice for the number 57.
There was a lot of contact behind the trees there at the time for fun motorsport cars. Neve and Seal. Silkstone, I'd imagine. But they keep going. Meanwhile, Jason Cooper has just about caught Duncan Cope. Wow, I'm so surprised. He just ran up to these guys like they were standing still. A single car, 2 seconds back, made up the gap. Can you bet against him here for this race win?
Absolutely not. I don't think they can. They're going to have to, I mean, Andrew, if they do, we're going to have 2 new ministers of defense. But it's going to be really hard to argue against the number 1, and you can see he's already lining up Duncan Cope. Looks like he's playing the patient game. He has plenty of time to line up those moves. Further behind, Andrew, well, those drivers, they're not really taking their time. They want to get those moves done and dusted as quickly as possible.
James Neve over Adam McNally. Michael Seal there just behind. Schroer's in the picture as McNally dives down to the inside. McNally started 26th after winning race number 2. He's now into 6th. 20 spots he's made up.
He's just on point, the number 78. He's now defending from James Neve. This is for 6th place going into turn number 10. They're going to go side by side. The number 78 gets a bit of the wider line, and you can see there Cooper. Andrew, already, just like that, 2 positions done on the midfield section of Watkins Glen, and I think that might be it.
He's going to pull away. I've never seen anything like it. In a draft battle race, he has caught and quickly passed Douglas Stewart and Duncan Cope. Wow. Deeper in the field, Craig Schill working with Julian Schroer here. They're at the back end of this lead group. And even further back, you'll find guys like Nick Clibbins and Sam Smith in line. This is out of the last corner, out of turn 11. Down the front stretch now. This is for 15th position. They've got Alistair Hatcher a little ways behind. I think a lapped car there. That would be Ashley Stimson with them. Alistair is much further down the order. And really, these guys back here, like Fiona Siddons, Tom Griffiths, they have long gaps in front and behind. Fiona's got 8 seconds up to Hatcher, and it looks like 7 seconds back to Griffiths. Big gaps.
So pretty much just driving their own races, Andrew. This is pretty much going to be time trial for them, trying to avoid any mistakes and hope. They're definitely going to hope that something happens up ahead to either bring the cars back or get them a few positions.
Douglas Stewart, second place, your Pro-Am leader. Certainly hoping that Silkstone can't make up the time, but 3 seconds, 5 minutes, can he do it? There's a lot of draft to be had if you're Liam Silkstone. It just might be doable.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see how much the draft is going to take part in, especially with the difference in pace from these guys. And you can see there Silkstone kind of losing a bit of touch with Adam Dalwan, who is now going to be closing to Duncan Cope. And Andrew, do you think Dalwan is going to have such an easy time passing Cope and Stewart, or do you think he's going to struggle a little bit?
I think it'll be relatively easy as long as he gets one at a time. If he has to get the two of them at the same time, that might be a little more difficult. Here we go. James Neve, Michael Seal in a tandem as they follow Adam McNally up the S's. They're ahead of Julian Schroer and Craig Schill. These are your closest gaps on the racetrack as Seal looks to the left side now out of turn 4. Parks back in behind James Neve. They're going to set up McNally potentially or try and draft him. They will set him up. Neve goes outside, and there you go. Michael Seal going to go inside. 3 wide down to the bus stop. Seal does not poke it to the inside. Thinks better of it. You can see in the frame there towards the bottom, Duncan Cope started to get the challenge from Adam Delmont. Neve has to wait on McNally, and this is for third.
This for third. You can see there Delmont closing in lap after lap, corner after corner to Duncan Cope. Duncan is going to think about going defensive. Looks like Delmont's not going to be sneaking his nose through, but he might not need to. You can see the number 912 feeling a little bit of pressure. Could the number 77 go down the inside of the final corner? The answer is no. He's going to line himself up for the exit of the final. No, looks like he's just biding his time, Andrew. 3 minutes and 30. He definitely thinks there's enough time to pass not only Duncan Cope, but Douglas Stewart as well.
Didn't get the run he wanted there at turn 11. He'll have to regroup and redo it. McNally holding down the inside now to turn 1. 3.5 minutes to go. That is 3 laps as well as McNally gets a good run out of turn 1. We'll hang on to this spot for now. Neve in the picture. I see Schroer. I see Schill. I even see Lars Fischer hanging on to it. Fischer's in 11th after all of that melee at the start. Casper, the quarter course, got flipped over, but Fischer, not too far back of Craig Schill. Could potentially catch him.
You know, only 1.6. He needs to hit his marks, Andrew. He needs to be pinpoint perfect with only 3 minutes to go. You can see on the ticker, Dalwin got past Duncan Cope. He's up into third position. Now you can see on your screen. So Dalwin only has one more car to pass to finish in second place. And you can see Cooper, Andrew, he's losing quite a bit of time as well.
Cooper only has 4/10 over Douglas Stewart. This could be close to the end, but it's still looking good for car number 1. Oh, a big block here. Neve is going to push McNally all the way over, and they're going to crash into turn 10. Teammates taken out. McNally will keep going. That's why you just simply should not block like that. Seal lets go of the brake,
Clark
takes out Clark. I just can't believe it.
Clark is destroyed. No, it's so unfortunate. He was running well inside the top 10. He's still in 10th place, but he's going to have to come down in the pit lane. And a result of an aggressive block ends up with 3 cars out of the race.
Yeah, at first glance, this looks pretty silly, but let's give him a benefit of the doubt here. Let's take a look at it. I've got to find a good angle. That's the big problem here. Hey, he's just pushing. I don't know. Let's go back and watch one more time, I guess. It looks like it's just so unnecessary.
It looks like McNally was either forced or elected to go below the wide line. And we're going to take a good look from this angle. You can see...
Folks knows he goes into the grass.
But there wasn't a gap there in the first...
Both of those drivers could have done better. I don't know that there's necessarily...
It was an avoidable instant.
It's not as bad as it first looked. I think from Neve's point of view, from Neve's perspective, but it's still just, it's so unnecessary to have there at the end of this race. And I really wish in cases like that, these guys would put the egos aside and just race at the end of the race sometimes. Because I don't want to have to be so critical of guys that we end up being friends with at the end of the day. We get in a Discord and talk with them and joke around with them and whatnot, but it's just so silly. Why crash? Why? Anyways,
the number 77, well, he's making his way through Douglas Stewart and Andrew. And as we head into the final lap of the race, he's going to get the second place. And Cooper's only 6/10 of a second ahead. I don't think it's going to be enough time, but I wonder what happened to the number one that, well, he was able to keep up pace. Duncan Cope saves the car on the exit of one, but something definitely happened to the number one.
Jason Cooper maybe checking up just a little bit. The white flag is out, presented by Whiplash Simcams. One final chance for everybody to take some spots here. Stewart wants a spot. He's going to win more than likely here in Pro-Am, so long as he doesn't throw anything away. Looks to the inside of Delmont and gets back in behind. We'll think better of it. Delmont might have a chance here to challenge for the race win. Stewart through the grass.
Stewart cut the corner a little bit. As you can see, white flags presented by Whiplash Simcams. And if Cooper is saving fuel injury, if he underfueled, well, he's only going to have 2 corners to go, so he's pretty much on the checker flag, but you can see that gap coming down quite a bit. Sorry, if Cooper. So the number 77, will he have a chance? The gap is coming down second by second. You can see both of them attacking turn number 10.
Enough.
I don't think it is unless car number 1 starts running out of fuel. Delmont, you can see, is pushing to the absolute limit.
Ooh,
Cooper taps the wall a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to win race number 3 by, once again, less than 3/10 of a second. Cooper wins, Delmont is second, and Douglas Stewart's going to win the Pro-Am class. Just behind him, Duncan Cope winning the amateur class.
It was a more exciting start to this one and a little less exciting finish. That big crash, though, with Michael Seal and James Neve going to have impacts. And I think especially the fact that, well, I mean, McNally drove off the racetrack technically, and I think in the steward's review, that'll go the way of a penalty for McNally because of it. But, yeah, it's tough, man. There were still laps to go. There were corners to go. It could have and should have gone differently. We just don't want to see these guys get taken out like that when they have chances to race for better positions, and that's where it comes from. But a few more cars to finish up. James Clark is next up. Tom Griffiths, then Thortolo, and Liam Stimpson. I'm impressed. James Clark finished the race. But only just. Tom Griffiths will come on through. Griffiths with tons of damage. Look at this. Wow.
Wow, a lot of damage.
Simpson will come around and finish. McEwen will finish as well, albeit several laps down. Thortolo just behind Stimpson here, and that'll do it for race number 3. A lot of drama certainly unfolding here at Watkins Glen, as well, I think as everyone expected, to be honest with you, JP. The race 3 comes to a close. We'll go ahead and get ready for our invert, the final invert of the day. And JP, do you want to try and, gamble a little bit here? Do you want to try and guess where this is going to land?
I'm going to go for unlucky 13 this time.
At least we're not betting money on it. We'll see how this goes. Goes right on by 13, 11, and oh, here we go.
Oh boy, a full invert once again. Once again, Andrew, I'm not going to complain
we put a
about
7 on there. We put a couple of 11s on, a 10. Like, we're trying to go for lower numbers. Maybe we need to make them bigger. I don't know.
I mean, if we made him 35, probably we would have hit them. Looks like the iRacing gods really want a lot of inverts on BSR tonight. Full invert, Andrew, that's around 20 cars this time around, if I'm not mistaken.
It's certainly a number. It's a lot. It's going to be potentially 21, I think, is our max that we can have for our next invert. Let's go ahead and take a look at our top 10.
So Jason Cooper, once again, won race number 3 ahead of Adam Delmont. Pretty much a carbon copy of the top 2 on race number 1. Douglas Stewart wins the Pro-Am class in 3rd, ahead of Duncan Cope, who wins the amateur class in 4th. Liam Silkstone is going to finish in 5th, ahead of Adam McNally in 6th. Julian Schroer in 7th, ahead of Lars Fisher, Craig Schill, and Lee Holmes.
Quickly on Jason Cooper, we had another really big wild card round in Road America, one that I thought we'd see more changes for race wins. And even at Road America, Jason Cooper took a win. Now he's got 2 here at Watkins Glen. I think the potentially biggest wild card not named Daytona. It's insane to me that this guy is still able to come through for these wins. I think that proves why he's champion. And going for another one here, Jamie Gulliford goes 11th, Sam Smith 12th. It is Nick Clemens, Alistair Hatcher, and Fiona Siddons your top 15. James Clark, Tom Griffiths, Liam Stimson, and Thortillo wrap up your lead lap, and Casper DeCourt, the first car, one lap down.
21st place goes to Ashley Stimson Michaels, who's going to finish in 22nd. James Neve 23rd. 24th goes to the number 4 of Andrew McEwen, ahead of Adam Fox in 25th, Mark Oliver in 26th, Chris Knox in 27th, Craig Cocker in 28th, and Glenn Humberson in 29th place.
And it should be Ashley Stimson going on pole then for race number 4. Otherwise, it might be Casper DeCourt or Thortillo, but being that it looks like, for the most part in our history with BSR, the one lap down cars have generally gotten the invert. Casper and Ashley should, and we'll see kind of how that actually goes into practice here in a few moments. But, wow, race 3. All right then.
That was a crazy race, Andrew. Lap number 1 was definitely hectic, and unfortunately we saw quite a few contenders out of it early, and but we still got some pretty good battles, some pretty good overtakes, and hopefully race number 4 we're gonna have a repeat of what we saw in race number 1 and 2.
Reminder, this is our schedule, so after today we move on to Road Atlanta. Granted, we've still got May 5th at Watkins Glen again with BSRTC. then we officially move on to Road Atlanta next week. Then it's Daytona and Sebring to round out the season. Only a few weeks of racing left here in BSR on Pitstop TV, only through the month of May, and then things get a revamp for whatever comes next. So definitely, these last few weeks are going to be exciting.
I mean, they're just going to be fantastic, Andrew. The final 3 races, 3 fantastic racetracks. I'm pretty sure we're going to see 12 fantastic races. My math is working correctly. And we are not going to miss it, and you shouldn't miss it either.
Coming into today, these were our standings, and after 3 races, there have been some changes. We've still got 1 race to go, and we don't have, of course, the updated graphic, but this is how we came into today with the standings. Jason Cooper now still your leader by 137 over Lars Fisher, who's taken over second. McNally has moved it to third, and James Neve has dropped down to the 4th spot. Sam Smith is still 5th. Adam Delmont has moved from 9th into 6th position. Nick Clemens is still in 7th. Casper DeCourt is still in 8th. And Thortillo now is 9th, with Andy McEwen dropping all the way down to 10th spot. His season has gone from pretty good to okay to pretty not great. And down in amateur, by the way, it's a much larger gap. Granted, it wasn't very much to begin with. It's still not huge, but it is 18 points between Craig Schill and Alistair Hatcher, and your Pro-Am gap is back over 100 points between Sam Smith and Thortillo. So some big points updates. And hey, Duncan Cope moves up into the top 20 as well as of race number 3. But again, that graphic that you just saw on screen, not quite accurate because, well, that was coming into this afternoon. So a lot changing as we get ready for race number 4 here at Watkins Glen. There's still a lot of racing to go. By all means, you'll want to stick with us.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence. Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Welcome back to the virtual Watkins Glen International. Let me tell you, this B-roll looks fantastic. Nice sunny day, partly cloudy maybe, but in the sim, well, I promise you, this is how it's supposed to look.
I mean, it's definitely interesting.
There's no residual light here at Watkins Glen at night, and you know what? I appreciate this. This is a good preview of what we'll have with the North American Racing League Cash Days event here at Watkins Glen coming up in the month of May. In fact, less than 2 weeks away. That's kind of crazy to think about, but yeah, it's nighttime. It is nighttime. The weather's the same. Oh no, it's not. 90 degrees.
What? Okay.
Oh. I love this league. I really do. All right, Liam Silkstone in the waiting. JP, here he is.
So Liam, I mean, I'm quite glad now that we waited for you to do the pre-race broadcast. I mean, what can you see out of your car?
Well, I'm actually sat in the car at the minute. I can see my man's got an Excite sticker and one of them things that says brake. There's a car in front and somewhere there's a wall on the left, but I can't tell you where.
That's pretty much what we see as well. I mean, it's complete pitch black. I mean, how difficult do you think the race is going to be, especially in these light conditions?
As we said at Sonoma when we had a night race for that, there's a lot of headlights facing the same way, which was a jinx the last time. So as long as they're lighting up the track for me and my headlights keep working, I think we should do alright.
And what happens if your headlights stop working for some reason?
Then I'm going to join you guys in the comms booth for the rest of the race.
There you go.
Is that a guarantee?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, why not? I'm not going to... Well, I'd rather finish. I love you guys, but I'd like to finish.
You know what?
All right,
I think we can arrange that if that happens.
Yeah,
Very
that's
good.
okay.
All right, so I'm not quite sure what Andrew. I mean, he's hoping for it. I hope you finish, Liam. I mean, I love you too, but I mean, I'm not gonna wish you the worst. But I mean, this is gonna be a crazy race. Hopefully, you can see out of your windshield. Yeah, I mean, what are your expectations?
Hopefully top 10. I've done 2 top 10s and a P11 so far. It's just a draft track. As long as you can just keep on the bumper of someone, that's all you've got to do. So that's all I'm here for. Just top 10, stay clean. I think I'm tied Pro-Ams at the minute lead, so let's just keep it up.
Well, absolutely. With that being said, I'm going to wish you the best of luck for the race, and hopefully we can talk to you after it, not during it.
Not during it. Sound, thank you for that one.
There you go. So, Andrew, that was Liam Silkstone. Only 30 seconds left in practice. And, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one.
You know, I'm glad these guys have warm-up now. Some leagues don't run warm-up before their sessions, and, I'm so thankful there's warm-up before we go racing here. You can see just how dark it is, and these guys have a little bit of time to get used to it. Let's go on board with somebody that's actually out there real quickly, and just how... I mean, it's not too bad. You can see the racetrack decently enough, but, boy, it is off-putting to be at Watkins Glen at night.
I mean, it's definitely crazy, and it's one of those circuits, Andrew, that I think we've all have raced, I mean, so many times, but I don't think a lot of us have actually, ran it in the dark, like this dark.
Yeah, this dark, I mean, the screen is black in between sessions here. I promise, that's what you're supposed to see at the moment. As you can see now, cars are gridding up. There's a little bit of light out there. We're going to have continuous coverage through the night, though, when NARL comes here for a 24-hour race with GT3 cars. So there is that at least to look forward to, the fact that it'll be continuous coverage. You won't have these just all black moments quite as often, but it's still possible. As you can see, the field getting ready for race number 4. Again, it's a full invert. Goes all the way back to 21st of the results of race 3. That includes Ashley Stimpson and puts Casper DeCourt on outside pole. Tom Griffiths will start 5th. James Clark 6th. Fiona Siddons started 7th. We'll see if it's a better race for her. Ashley Stimpson, Thortillo, and Liam Stimpson all start within the top 4. So some big highlights there on the top of your grid.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how they're all going to finish at the end of the 15 minutes. Red's light are on, Andrew. And just like that,
Green flag.
We're green.
You can't even tell what color flag it is, but green flag is out for race 4. How about that? Clean start so far into the S's. Oh, and now we have crashing. One car flipping. This is going to be huge. Oh my goodness. That's everybody. That is everybody. But behind about 11th position, that is everybody. Wow. Wow. And it looks like, unfortunately, ATVO is being a little bit picky with us, but we'll try and go back and get a look at this. We might have to wait on it. Yeah, unfortunately, ATVO is being really picky with me right now, but let's make sure we're live. We are. Let's figure out where we can get to some pictures. We'll have to bear with us here for a second. Here we go. Doing things the old-fashioned way, JP. Here we go. Back to some cars. Let's at least get through this. We'll have to reload our graphics, but boy, wow, what a start.
I mean, what a start indeed. Unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of cars out, Andrew, but I mean, there's still plenty of contenders, and as you can see, I'm pretty sure is this Cooper already in second place?
No, Casper. Casper, where he started
Casper.
second. So
Okay.
Casper's up here. Well, that's lap 1.
Just like
No,
that,
it is
lap
Cooper. You're
one.
right, actually.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
James Neve than James Cooper.
It's so difficult to see the numbers, but the wide rims kind of give it away. So this is a nice little battle for the lead right here. The number 7 against the number 1. And, I mean, if you're Neve around here, Andrew, dude, maybe try to back off Cooper a little bit more back into third place to have a better chance, or you just try to battle it out. Well, we're going to have our answer here. Cooper's already side by side. Looks like he has the straight line speed. And as you can see, that is Fiona Sims, looks like. This is our leaders. There you go.
Glad we got that one sorted out. So, Ashley Stimson still out front of the field. Casper DeCourt second. It looks like that is one of the Excite cars, potentially Nick Clibbins in the third spot. Maybe Tom Griffiths. Yes, it's Tom Griffiths in 76. Then Sam Smith. And our graphics should be reloaded shortly. Fun times.
Definitely fun times, and this is a fun little battle for the lead, Andrew. I'm glad this wasn't really disrupted by the crash. We have 6 cars still in contention, and this is going to be the end of lap number 2. And, well, the top 6 are definitely very close, so this could swing 1 out of 6 ways.
James Clark, it looks like, is in that. Sam Smith and one other. As lap 3 commences, and who is that last car in line? That would be Nick Clibbins with these guys. So the top 6 in order. 7th, it looks like, will be Fiona Siddons. 8th, Liam Silkstone. 9th, Madam McNally. And 10th, I can't really tell, actually. That is, it's one of the 88 Tech cars. Is that Alistair Hatcher, Mark Oliver, or Craig Schill? Craig Schill.
Okay, there we go. I'm glad you cleared that up, because I cannot see a thing. It's all difficult. It's easier when we have headlights like this. So thank you for Clark for lighting the cars up ahead. You can see that's the number 76. So that makes our job a little bit easier, Andrew. But I mean, if it's difficult for us, for the drivers, obviously they have the headlights, but it's still difficult to race at night, especially at full pace with cars like this. But, well, there we go. Got our graphics back. So Casper DeCourt leading from Ashley Stimson and Tom Griffiths, our top 3.
Once these guys complete this lap, we'll go ahead and go back and see what happened on lap number 1. That's going to be well worth it, I'd say. As our top 6 go on by the speed shot there out of the final corner and the speed shot at the start-finish line. Wow. What a start to things for race number 4. Let's go back and see how that all started. All right, so this is maybe a little too far back. Let's advance just to where these guys start rolling off the grid. And we've got that now. I have no clue where this starts, but I know Stimson and others are out of the race, so we'll just start with that. Here's Gulliford. And it's going to start around Gulliford, maybe even around Fiona Siddons. It does not start very far up through the field.
And it's going to start on the exit of these S's, just on the top, maybe, on the exit of turn 3, I think, turn 4. So we got the picture slowed down, the video slowed down a little bit. You can see Fiona Siddons. Does she get a tap from behind?
Oh, it happens up ahead.
No, it starts ahead. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Liam Stimson and one other car made contact. That is Thoratullo. Nick Clibbins is so lucky to get on by. Not so much for Sam. Actually, Sam just net codes through. Fiona through the grass. There is Lee Holmes as Stimson goes flipping in the air. Wow.
What a spectacular image of the car flipping through the air. And you can see there, now drivers are obviously, they're going to be hitting the brakes. The drivers behind, they're not going to be expecting that. And it's just going to cause a cascade effect. And you can see here the cameraman was spared by inches. And you can see Excite car stop. Oh, so much. You can see Cooper just threaded the needle over there. You can see his teammate, unfortunately, wasn't very lucky. But, I mean, that was easily the biggest crash we've had on the day.
I think the biggest we've had ever in our time covering BSR. Let's go on board with Jason Cooper for this. We'll take one more replay after this, then go back to live picture, and I think this is one we have to cut up for social media, JP. That was wild.
That was absolutely crazy, and you can see the reaction is just trying to find a way.
Wow, Lars Fischer spinning.
Oh, his teammate just avoids.
Oh, and he got hit.
Yeah, he definitely gets a hit from behind, and look at that.
Snakes on through there. Let's take the onboard now of Alistair Hatcher, who goes flipping.
So you can see this is on board with
This
Alistair
might
Hatcher.
not have actually been Alistair. Maybe Glen Humber. Well, anyways, we can find Stimson. Let's go Stimson. He's already in mid-crash and just ride along.
And there you go. You can see flip. There's no control of the car whatsoever. Hits again. Just hit one more time even.
Ground
And then
sky,
stops.
ground sky.
Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do at that point when the car is airborne. Just a complete passenger.
So our top 10 is all in order. Well, our top 6 is still in order, actually. Casper DeCourt leading over Ashley Stimson, Tom Griffiths, second and third, then Sam Smith, Nick Clibbins, and James Clark. 7th is Liam Silkstone. Bit of a gap back to McNally and Schill. This is for 8th and 9th between these two. Fiona Siddons in line. Only 16 cars left running in this race, JP. What a wild way to finish the day.
Absolutely. On the first 2 races, I think we only had in total 4 cars not finishing. And, well, just on this one, we can already see from 27th all the way down to 17 already not finishing. So, really unfortunate. But what is fortunate is we still have these battles alive. Looks like this is still, I guess we can call a lead battle. The top 4 separated by less than a second.
Sam Smith in behind Tom Griffiths gives him a push. Dabs the brake. And Clibbins in line there as well. So they are 3 of the 6 cars in line. They've only got, well, actually 4. 4 Excite cars in line because Stimson is with them. So 4 Excite cars in line here. Casper DeCourt, the odd one out ahead, and James Clark, the odd one out behind. Silkstone is sat back in 7th. Then McNally and Schill and Siddons still making up the top 10. Meanwhile, James Neve and James Cooper are close by. They're 11th and 12th here.
And this is Cooper right here. So 11th and 12th. So Cooper got past Neve. And now, Andrew, they have not quite a big gap, around 2.5 seconds behind Fiona Siddons. And they're going to catch up the battle for the amateur lead as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they can maybe pass them. But looks like Fiona lost a bit of pace. And, well, Craig Schill, he's definitely going for it. He's trying to get a few extra positions. And he might even get... This is McNally and Silkstone. They're battling. Who's going to come out on top? Looks like they're going to retain positions, I should say.
McNally, I think, goes on by, but Silkstone was initially ahead because he was in 7th a moment ago. So definitely McNally goes on by and all of that, but Craig Schill pulls up behind, and Fiona Siddons is 1 second back. It would be quite interesting if Fiona's able to drive up to Craig and start battling here, how this might work out.
It's going to be interesting because she's going to be in the perfect position to obviously capitalize, as you mentioned, if anything goes down. So, I mean, at this point, Andrew, do you hope for contact? Do you just hope them battle so you can get, involved in it? I mean, what is really, I guess, going through her head right now?
To try and use Jason Cooper to her advantage, I think, because Jason Cooper is closing and quickly. Here's on board with Jason. You see that gap ahead to Fiona starting to close down.
Yeah, this gap is going to come down really, really quickly. Remember, it was 2.5 previous lap? Well, it's around a second already, so, I mean, number 1 is absolutely on rails, Andrew. We saw this on race number 3, how quickly he was able to close down the gap. It's the same story, and if you're Fiona, it might be in your best interest to maybe just let number 1 go through and maybe follow it as we cut to the battle for the lead. And as you can see, things are getting quite heated up. Now we have 5 cars within 1 second. Casper DeCourt battling with Tom Griffiths for the lead.
Team Excite bringing it to Casper DeCourt, the lone 5-star car up here. Casper DeCourt way out wide at turn 9, and he's properly got a fight for the race lead. They had that fight into the bus stop as well. Griffiths pinching over, trying to keep the 5 car from having a run. Getting an advantage does the 76, and he will have the lead technically to turn 10. Casper on the inside, though, for 10. That'll put Griffiths on the inside for turn 11. Sam Smith just behind these guys in third. Takes over the Pro-Am lead over Ashley Stimson. Casper DeCourt still on the outside there. Trying to make something happen.
It's going to be interesting to see, will Sam Smith push the number 76? Looks like he is doing just that, allowing Tom Griffiths to retain the lead as we head into turn number 1. He's just going to be holding back. Casper DeCourt tries to go the long way around the outside. They're pretty much side by side. They are. You can see pretty much nothing separate them. Looks like the number 5 gets a better run, but now the inside line will favor Tom Griffiths. He's going to have a bit of an edge in the top speed. Now you can see Sam Smith. He's going to be forced to maybe go 3 wide. That's not going to be a good choice, and he's going to back off. That's going to open the door to Ashley Stimson. Tom Griffiths, Casper DeCourt still side by side. Well, Sam Smith is still going to be helping the number 76.
Almost turns him.
Saves it.
Down to the bus stop one more time, side by side for our race leaders. Casper DeCourt on the inside through the main part of the bus stop, takes it back away from Tom Griffiths. Quickly, let's update you on the AM lead. They're side by side almost. Craig Schill now has the spot back over Fiona Siddons. It was the other way just a few moments ago. Fiona had the amateur lead over Craig. Now Craig takes it back. Back up to our leaders though. Sam Smith, and there's some blinking up here, it looks like. I think it's Tom Griffiths blinking. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Tom's blinking a little bit. He's going to go side by side through turn 10 with Casper DeCourt. He's not going to have the run on the outside, so he's just going to have to hold back. And you can see Sam Smith really wants this possible overall victory, Andrew. Has he won an overall race before this season?
Road America.
Yes. Oh, yeah, there he goes. So he wants a repeat of what he had in Road America, and quite a similar track. Lots of slipstream,
and it was race 4 there as well when he won.
So there he goes. So everything is kind of coming together for him. He's in a perfect position to maybe do this. Jason Cooper sets the fast lap of the race, but he's 8 seconds, so he's most likely out of the picture for the win.
In the 9th position, coming up on Liam Silkstone and Adam McNally, ahead of James Neve. Fiona Siddons has dropped back a little bit of Craig Schill. There's your amateur battle. And only a few cars left running after them. Tom Griffiths, Casper DeCourt still side by side. They'll go down to the bus stop one more time. This is 2 laps to go, JP, coming to the white flag this next time around.
It's going to be all or nothing. You can see Tom Griffiths now gets the lead. Casper DeCourt, does he want track position or does he want to be second heading into the final? We saw Sam Smith trying to get the nose in on the carousel. Couldn't really do that. Has to back off around 0.3 of a second behind Casper DeCourt. Now the number 5, will he push the number 76? Yes, he will. As you can see, Andrew, he does not want to lead the final lap of the race. He doesn't want to start the last lap leading. He wants to finish the last lap leading, and we're going to have to wait and see if his plan works out. He pushes the number 76 to maybe some sort of a mistake, and that's really could line up the number 5 to get the lead even before turn number 1.
I think Casper will wait. I think realistically you want to make your move either in the bus stop or turn 10, as Casper does look to the inside of turn 1 here, pokes his nose down there. But we'll wait. He'll hold himself back. So he's holding Sam Smith back now and just ensuring that he's on the right side of the racetrack, falls back in behind Tom Griffiths.
And you can see now the number 5 has to attack the number 76 and it has to defend from the number 527. And as you can see, goes side by side with Tom. Sam Smith is going to make it 3 wide. Who's going to come out on top? Casper DeCourt currently has a straight line edge. He's going to lead. Sam Smith is all the way around the outside. And, well, Andrew, this could only end. One of them is going to end up leading. Almost 4 wide. Do we go cleanly through the bus stop? Yes,
Casper
we do.
Way out wide through the grass. Gets back on.
Oh, saves it. Tom Griffiths now has a good lead.
Can Tom hang on to this? We've seen it be difficult to do anything in turns 10 and 11. And he's got the race lead. Casper DeCourt second. Tom Griffith's teammates behind him. Will they help Casper? Sam Smith battling with Ashley Stimson. Nick Clibbins there. James Clark at the back end of the group. Can anybody do anything to Tom Griffiths? They're going to try. Casper draws close. The final corner at Watkins Glen. Casper slid a little bit. Can he get right back to him? He's going to try for the final corner, and it's not going to be enough. Sam Smith will go third in this race. Casper DeCourt second, but Tom Griffiths wins the final race at Watkins Glen.
What a final lap, action-packed, really good racing throughout the top 6, Andrew. All of them within a second from the leader. What a race we just had, and look at that 3-wide finish, pretty much.
Craig Schill wins an amateur. Fiona Siddons second. Glenn Humberstone will go 13th. Mark Oliver will go 3rd in class, but 14th overall. 15th overall now as Adam Delmont will go on by right at the line. There they go across the line. Delmont ahead of Oliver. Alistair Hatcher will be the final car to finish up. Alistair is headed into turn number 10 now. You can see no right side mirror. That car has seen some things.
Yeah, that car has seen quite a bit of action today. I mean, quite a few cars have seen quite a bit of action today, Andrew. And, well, it looks like he's on the final corner. Oh, even sees a bit more action. There we go. So we can see, unfortunately, both mirrors hanging off. Alistair is going to be, I'm pretty sure, the last driver to finish the race.
Sir.
Yes. So, yeah, there you go. Crosses the line. And, well, those were 4.
Yeah, that was wild. And you know what? I like the night race that we just had. So BSR, since I know you guys will be listening, more night races, certainly welcome. Here's your top 10, though, from race number 4.
So number 76 of Tom Griffiths holds off the charge from Casper Decor and Sam Smith to win the race. Casper finishes in 2nd, and Sam is going to win the Pro-Am class in 3rd. Nick Clibbins is going to finish in 4th place ahead of Ashley Stimson. James Clark is going to finish in 6th place ahead of Jason Cooper. Liam Silkstone in 8th. Adam McNally in 9th, and James Neve in 10th place.
Finishing 11th, you'll find IndyCar 982 and amateur race 4 winner, Greg Schill, just over Fiona Siddons. Glenn Humberstone, Adam Delmont, Mark Oliver, your top 15. Alistair Hatcher, the final car running there at the end. Adam Fox goes 17th. Andy McEwen completes an abysmal day in 18th spot. Douglas Stewart 19th, and Thor Solo 20th.
21st goes the way of Julian Schroer ahead of Lars Fischer, Liam Stimson, Jamie Gulliford, and Lee Holmes. Chris Knox is going to finish 26th, and Craig Cockrell in 27th.
I really do feel for Andy McEwen. Another one of those tracks where he's a big NASCAR fan. Despite being British, he's a big NASCAR fan. And coming to another track that NASCAR races at, on the same layout as NASCAR races on, I thought today might have been one of his better days. Absolutely abysmal. One of the worst pro efforts, I think, all season. And it's not even, his effort, it's just the results. And absolutely abysmal. But we do have some drivers ready to go ahead and talk to us after this one, JP. First up, how about you follow up with Liam Silkstone?
I mean, Liam, it was a crazy first lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry. I worked out which I thought the last one. So what it was, me and Delmont, it wasn't Delmont, McNally made it through. And I'm going, Delmont, go, 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 go. And Delmont, well, I'm dead. I'm like, who am I following? You know, you were saying about it's dark. I couldn't even work out with my own teammate in front. I didn't know which one it was.
And I mean, luckily for you, you escaped it. You ended up finishing 8th place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a good overall race, considering what could have been at the end of turn 4, right?
Yeah, me and my teammate McNally were shouting, and he's there going, don't let Jason through, don't let Jason through. And I went, well, you just let him through. Because he went round the outside of me. Well, will you go down the inside of him? Just stop wimping. And then when I'd seen all the other Excite cars at the front, I was like, God, we're further back than what I thought. But they were just pulling away and there were not what we could do. So I think we had a bit of damage, but well, it was good fun.
And how different was the racetrack with absolutely no light to the natural light we've had on the first 2 races?
Coming into turn 1, you don't realise how much you need your rear view mirrors because there's no reflection, there's no notes. So I'm looking forward and you can see all the cars, but anyone behind you, it's a proper, all you can see is 2 little white dots in your mirror, and I'm like, are they coming down the inside? Are they going to stay behind? So as soon as we made it through turn 1, that was alright. But yeah, I didn't realise how hard it was going to be in the dark.
And well, since this was the final race that you had in the MX-5 at Watkins Glen, how would you rate this track out of 10, and how much would you like to see in a possible future season on the MX-5?
It's a weird one because it's just a draft track, so as soon as the front pack get away, then it sort of ruins your race. Because like there was me, McNally, Jason, and I think there was one more with us. And the pack in front were just going, if you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, it's a good track, but it's trying to keep, as soon as you get dropped out of that pack, it's not helpful. If I'm in the front, then I love the track. If you're in the middle, it's a bit hard to catch back up. But overall, yeah, I like it.
And well, coming up to next week, Rhode Island, what are the expectations?
I like it a lot because you can hit the curbs like you can hit the curbs at Knockhill. It's all about bravery, and if you've got bravery, you can do well around there. You need to proper smash them curbs and just hope you don't get any damage, and then gain as much time as you can.
Well, there you go. So hopefully we can talk to you plenty more in. I almost said Miami. I was thinking about Formula One. We can talk to you in Road Atlanta. And well, Liam, have a good one. Take a bit of a rest and see you in a week.
Yeah, I will see you then.
Absolutely. So, Andrew, that was Liam. My head was pretty much in Formula One thinking about Miami. Pretty sure some of us would like to be around there.
Yeah, some might, but it's rather warm there this time of year. I'll let those guys have their fun, and we'll go on down and talk with Adam Delmont, who ends up not winning any of these races today, but certainly contending in every single one of them. Adam, it was a good effort all around, I think. Car 77 was in the picture a lot, but not the greatest race for.
No, good evening, guys. Yeah, do you know what? It's been a really good night. I mean, I've had some strong results, keeping Cooper on his toes. And yeah, I was just unlucky in race 4. I lifted and slowed right down and moved as far to the right as I could. And Lars, he did have his brakes on, he did everything he could to avoid, but obviously he was turned, hit the wall, bounced back across, and just literally just clipped me. And it was enough to spear me off into the wall, and then I got collected by a couple more. I managed to finish, so it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I can't seem to get 4 decent results in a night. There's always a race that goes amiss, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, positive. I had some really good pace tonight and felt strong, so yeah, keep moving that forward and hopefully keep chipping away at Cooper. I know he's won championship because he's that far ahead, but I want to steal some wins off him for once.
Well, certainly a strong night as far as racing to second place behind Jason Cooper. How do you go into Road Atlanta then next week and try and follow this up?
Same as always, mate. Push, do some practice, you know, try and learn the quickest way around that I can, and then go full send on race night. It's the only way.
Do you guys ever practice for these night conditions for these racetracks? I mean, we've had some sunset races, but this is the first complete night race we've had outside of Daytona.
Yeah, to be honest, these full night races don't come along very often, do they? So we don't practice, but most of us have done the enduro stuff on iRacing, so we're used to racing at night anyway. So I personally like racing in the night. I don't think it may look as nice on the broadcast because all you can see is lights. But I quite enjoy the nights. I just wish my car had been under me in that race because, like I said, I do usually do okay in the night. But
and how about that first lap incident in this last race? What could you see from all of that?
A lot of smoke, cars. It was like a scene out of Days of Thunder, to be quite honest. So I should have just kept it pinned and gone high, done it for Harry. But no, I lifted. I thought I'd play safe because I could see so many cars spinning. I'm gonna lift, and the kicker is, if I'd have gone a touch quicker, I would have just passed Lars before he bounced across the track, and I'd have probably made it. But you know, you can't turn back the time, and you know, it is what it is. It was just, I've had a good strong 3 races and then just a bit of bad luck on race 4. But you know, it's a long championship, a long way to go.
Well, Adam Delmont goes 14th in the final race, but a good points day as a whole. Buddy, best of luck to you at Road Atlanta. We'll see Car 77 and the rest of you then.
No worries, guys. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
That's Adam Delmont. A really good night at Watkins Glen, and we'll move things on down the line to somebody that I think can celebrate a little bit in this final race of the day. JP, Fiona Siddons had a couple of rough spots, but the last race comes together.
Yeah, Fiona, just like Andrew mentioned, the final race came together for you. How did Watkins Glen treat you overall?
Overall, I think, considering I haven't done any testing, as you know, what the month of May means, and I'm testing ready for the Indy 500. But it's gone well.
And, I mean, obviously it was a bit more of a draft battle. And how do you prepare for races like these?
I don't think you can really prepare for it. You just have to take it as it comes all the time and just have your wits about you.
And, I mean, obviously you're focused a bit more on the TCR Championship, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, how do you divide practice between those two?
As I say, at the minute I'm busy on the IndyCar, practicing that at the moment, but I tend to practice more the TCR than the MX-5 this season.
And what are your expectations actually coming to the TCR on Thursday around here? Do you expect to do, I don't know, maybe you expected, I guess, an unsurprising upset victory, I guess you can call? Do you expect something like that?
I'm not sure about a victory, but I'm hopeful of a top 10 sometime during the night.
I mean, we're gonna have 4 races. Chances are high, especially with the inverts. And I mean, talking about inverts, what are your opinions? Do you prefer a smaller invert, a larger one? We kind of want the opinion of drivers to kind of decide the numbers.
I'm with me and Andy and people was talking during that last race, and I think a smaller invert, say 15 as a maximum, it might stop a lot of the carnage what we're getting.
Well, there you go. It's nice to have a bit of driver input. We're definitely going to be, I guess, testing. Andrew is definitely going to be in control of that, but we're going to see what the future holds. But I mean, Fiona, it was an interesting 4 races, wasn't it? Especially for you.
Especially that last one. I don't know how I got through the carnage at the first lap there. I could see cars flying in the air straight in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, with the limited sight everyone had, I'm pretty sure you just saw headlights spinning around, pointing to the sky and back at you. But it was definitely a crazy day of racing. But I mean, with that being said, I'm gonna let you not only focus for the TCR on Thursday, but also focus for the Indy 500. And well, wish you farewell.
Thank you, and see you later.
Yeah, see you on Thursday. Hopefully we can talk to you plenty of times over there. But Andrew, that was Fiona Siddons. I mean, definitely one of the craziest stories I guess we've had. I mean, that final lap, the final race, the first lap, the drivers who avoided it, I mean, a pat on the back is well deserved.
It was a good day of racing here at Watkins Glen. We'll wrap things up with complete darkness around the circuit. It was fun again. I really enjoyed this night race and enjoyed the inverts. I think maybe we'll take one of those full options off next week and see how that goes. But here's a look at the upcoming broadcast here at Pit Stop TV. Wednesday evening, tomorrow evening, is the Outlaw Sim Series from Rockingham Speedway. Thursday, it's BSR TC back with us at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern at Watkins Glen. Then Thursday evening, we've got the North American Racing League from Interlagos, that's Brazil, for round number 8 of 8 to wrap up a GT3 championship. So a lot of great stuff on the way here at Pit Stop TV, a lot of great places to follow along, and we certainly recommend you do so. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. We also broadcast over there, and primarily, I'm sure a lot of you guys primarily watch on YouTube, but we certainly appreciate views however we get them, and we appreciate the social media following however we get that as well. Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, the whole bunch of it works. So as we wrap up from Watkins Glen, a big thank you is in order to everybody here at British Sim Racers and all the great drivers, all the great admins. It's been so much fun covering this series, and I can't wait for it to continue through the rest of the season and beyond, hopefully. We'll see how things go. It's been fantastic this season. Fantastic season of racing. And every week it seems like there's new surprises, new turns along the way, and the championship always takes a change as we get ready for the last 3 weeks of the season. Once again, thanks so much for tuning in. JP Costa joined me in the light today. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV. We've got 3 rounds of MX-5 action left, 4 rounds of BSR TC action left, the next of which coming up on Thursday afternoon at Watkins Glen. Make sure you're here with us. That's 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will see you there.